The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott Lewis. It is Monday, June 3rd, 2024. We are here live, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. NBA Finals is kicking off on Thursday. We're gonna be previewing a whole bunch of stuff. We're gonna talk about some Hard Knock stuff later on in the show. And we also got a special guest we're going to bring in just one moment. But you can follow me on all social media platforms at Barber's Chat Scott. You can follow the Barber's Chat Network on all social media platforms at Barber's Chat Net. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network. So you can get all of the exclusive content from the show. You can get early 79th and Hallis episodes. You can get me and Dante's Entourage Review podcast. We breaking down all 8 seasons and the movie in honor of the 20th year anniversary of that show. And of course, Summer Sessions. We actually dropped an episode last week. We went 2 months without dropping nothing. We actually dropped the episode last week. So check all that out. You can follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. And of course, get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. You can go to pillarsclub.co or you can go to their Instagram, Pillars_club, or go to any of their 3 locations in the Chicagoland area. It's one in the West Loop over there on Madison, one in Orland Park Mall, and also one in Chicago Ridge. So get in tune with everything they've got going on today. We've got no Courtney today. I think she's mourning her Dallas Stars being out, so she'll be back on Friday. Mikey is doing Mikey things, but Mikey will be back next week. The homie Pavi will join us later in the show. The homie Damien will join us later in the show. But we're going to bring in Bang and Dante real quick before we bring in our guests. How y'all niggas doing, man?
I'm decent,
this is a
bro.
fine. How you start the show with a fine?
I'm about to say, Bang definitely got to pay the $5, but I'm
solid.
Man, I already cash apped you, fam. I already cash
app another one, brother.
Cash app you a goddamn thing after that.
I'm gonna say, as president, I'm vetoing all fines, nigga. I'm not paying nothing.
Thank you.
I am solid, bro. I'm good. It's another beautiful day.
Yeah,
solid Monday. They finally turned the water off. You feel me? You know, so we doing good.
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay, shout out Atlanta. And by the way, I know, Mike, if you're watching this, them niggas still need their merchandise. Okay, shout out to our sponsors, Pillars. These niggas need their merchandise. So
3X hoodie, 2X bottom.
I mean, he told you gotta come to the store, remember?
Yeah, because he wanted me to fit me, and then I was like, wait a minute, I had to think about it. Like, I'm a grown ass man. What look like
this y'all need to flip out the store.
This ain't Men's Warehouse, nigga.
Right, yeah. I'm fitting for some sweatpants. That's funny.
See how niggas feel about black-owned businesses?
Oh no, I'm supporting. I'm just saying,
white man said, "Hey, you should come to the store."
I would have said I ain't getting fitted for that shit either. This ain't Men's Warehouse.
Oh man,
Are we getting married in this? Am I getting a pillar?
You just want to make sure you got the right size, man.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah. I'm around here. I'm about to lose a little weight too. So
me too, brother. Me too. Let's bring in our first guest. We have got we can't even say friend of the program. This is an actual good friend of mine. We've got the one and only Shakia Taylor. If you do not know who this person is, you have been living under a rock. She is the deputy senior content editor at the Chicago Tribune. You can follow her at Curly Fro on Twitter. Get in tune with everything she goes about, man. She goes from basketball coverage, specializes in baseball, football. If you are a Michigan fan, turn this off right now because she's full Ohio State all day, every day.
Relax. It's not a back.
So, Shakia, it is great to have you on the show. I haven't had you on here in a couple years, but I'm glad to have you on, even though I hit you up super last minute. But how are you feeling today?
I'm good. It's always nice to be invited back after a couple years.
Well, it definitely good.
Couple of years.
I mean, it's years.
It's been a couple years. This before I brought y'all niggas on here.
Bang. He was like, I know all these other people.
I was on the first episode, but wait a minute, I was on the first episode,
and I didn't on the first episode.
I didn't appear on here until it's the cast of thousands. So I feel you.
It's discrimination. I don't know what you and I have in common that he's discriminating against us with, but we don't go with that.
Yeah.
I forgot Bang was on the first episode. It was you and Jared.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I didn't get on here until you put me to work. So
right.
It is what it is. But we just glad to be here.
Typical black person. Come over here. Yeah. I got some work for you to do.
We came up with the idea, we fed the idea of doing Hard Knocks Patreon episodes, and these niggas, I gotta do more work.
No, I said I'm down for that.
Well, it was Dante and Mikey.
I'm the only one on East Coast time, so I mean,
and Mikey be
the episodes in.
And Mikey be taking Kyrie PTO, and he didn't want to do it. But anyway, let's just get right into it. Shakia, I hit you up because it has been since the WNBA season started about a month ago. The discourse, not just on social media, which we know is crazy all the time, or in the words of Bang, fuck Twitter. Don't be arguing people on Twitter. Actually, both of y'all told me stop arguing people with 300 followers, which it's a battle. Today, I beat that battle on my Instagram. People call me my Kyrie. I said we stop treating Kyrie like he beat cancer. So shout out to y'all for my strength. But it's been a lot of wild discourse. I kind of feel hit its peak today at the Death Star of ESPN with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. Now, I watched the clip, but I went and watched the whole full segment, which was about 30 minutes long. And it just really felt like him and Shannon was super defensive and didn't really let Monica McNutt say what she needed to say. To the point where it got a little disrespectful for me, where they were always, speaking over her. And even the part where Shannon was like, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? Like talking to her like she's like 5 years old. And then we got Pat McAfee, which, I don't know. We can't really expect much from Pat McAfee. I think it was more of him calling Caitlin Clark a white bitch, which was more kind of wild, more than what he was saying. White people ain't racist, which is, we don't even have to go into.
Be mindful, this is the second time in 2 weeks.
Second time. He said the same thing last week. So if you look at like the discourse over, I feel like at this point, you got both sides where some are going to the extreme. You got some who think that Caitlin should be treated differently because she's number one pick, which is asinine. This is professional sports. You got some people who want to ignore the race factor in this. You got some people who act like Caitlin is just getting held because she is white, not because she's a great basketball player. But I think at the core of this, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the WNBA is being fully introduced into the world of sports entertainment where everything is extreme. And like I was telling Bang in the pre-show meeting, in a couple minutes, we're going to be arguing about two 25-year-olds and Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum, whose career is going to be over in 2 weeks. So I feel like everything's extreme, and you got some people who just want it to be, given the proper respect, and some that just feels like it needs to be shown favoritism. What's your personal opinion on everything that's been going on and just how this sport has been covered?
Wow, that's a loaded question. That's a super loaded question.
Yeah, I did do a lot.
There's a lot happening. So I'm going to try to go, I guess, piece by piece. And I think with all of the topics you mentioned, that we have to stop looking at it as sort of a binary. We can't keep looking at it as this is true, so this cannot be true. When in fact, a lot of the things that you mentioned are true. A lot of the things you mentioned are true. For example, just because someone is talking about the league does not mean they're covering the league, right? And that seems to be a really big misconception. Tarika Foster Bradley, who was formerly on ESPN and is now on CBS Sports, she tweeted about this earlier. Her Twitter is at She Knows Sports for anyone who's interested in looking. And she talked about how just having a conversation about the WNBA does not mean you're covering it. And the reason why I mention that is because people like Stephen A. and Shannon and even Pat McAfee, they really believe because they are having these conversations that they are covering the league. That's not true. They are contributing to the discourse more than anything, right? And with that discourse, we have one side who is Caitlin Clark can do no wrong. The current players should be grateful for her existence. She is bringing all of this great stuff into the league. And then on the other side, you have people who've been around for a long time. The WNBA is not a new league. It's not a baby league. It's been around for 27 years, which means it's been around for all of us here a good majority of our lifetimes at this point. And right now, older fans or current fans, or however you want to describe them, longtime fans, dedicated fans, they're pushing back against a lot of the narratives that are coming out from newer people to the space, right? Like newer people are bringing in a lot of negativity, but I am not absolving previous fans of their role in all of the mess too, because all of the fighting, all of the arguing, all of the back and forth, on the one hand, I get it, but also at what point do you get tired? So I think this is an issue of like everybody is way loud. Some people are wrong, some people are right, but we can't really get through because of all the noise. And with Stephen A today, it almost seemed like he was kind of taking credit a little bit. Did anyone else?
In peak Stephen A fashion.
Yeah,
100%.
like almost felt like he was trying to take credit. And I think people are obviously going to take issue with that. I also think we can't paint a league of more than 100 grown women with broad strokes. We can't say what they feel. We can't say what they think. We don't know. We don't know. I would imagine that there is some level of resentment as it pertains to Caitlin Clark. But I can also imagine that that number is probably really small, that there isn't a majority of women in the WNBA who have those feelings, right? But I don't think they're wrong if they do have them. It's more about if you act on them. There's no concerted effort to derail this girl's career. It's just not happening. You've seen people say it over and over again. It's not happening. That's a narrative being pushed by new people, which unfortunately is mostly comprised of men who aren't watching the league at all. Some of these conversations, I'm like, yeah, there's no way this person has watched any games. There's no way. Like this discussion about Caitlin Clark needing the league to go soft on her, have we never known that the first pick in the draft goes to the worst team? Like,
right.
I'm not sure like why there's this argument that they should go easier on her because she's new. She's not doing well because her team isn't doing well. And I would say individually, she's kind of getting hers. Against the Liberty, that's a whole nother discussion because I think she scored, 3 points?
Yeah, they put her through a table.
Yeah. But what do we expect in a league with so few teams? There are 12 teams. There are technically 144 spots, but every team is not carrying all that they can because you have issues of cap space, right? So this is a highly competitive league. I'm not sure I would want people to let a person float, to let a person skate, to let someone come in and just get off easy with it. That's not competition. That's also part of the problem with the perception. We think, oh, they're women, they're girls, they should just get along. When in reality, that's not how we operate. That's not how we operate at all. So
that's an insane take.
for any human, we're all people. We're all going to have beef. There's always going to be a little bit of jealousy or an undercurrent of this person is getting something that I should have, or, this new person is getting all the attention. That's always going to be there. It happens in the NBA and no one cares. In fact, I've seen many people call the NBA soft. Now the WNBA is giving you that physicality, those beefs, that trash talk, all of that. And people are like, no, 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 not the girls.
Not the women. No,
Act
sir.
like ladies.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. These are competitors. And Caitlin Clark hasn't said a word about it. So why are people speaking up for her so fiercely?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
You kind of took the flair of the question that I was about to ask, so I'm going to switch it. It feels like to me that aggression in women's sports is not being tolerated in this. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like to me that the majority of the women that I hear talk about this say, hey, just let us play. You're going to get physicality in the game. You're going to, the women are aggressive, along with the fundamentals. And yes, we're women, but we're still going to give you that. And it reminds me of one of my favorite movies of all time, A League of Their Own, to where the women wanted just to play baseball, but now you got to wear skirts and you want them to be prissy and all of this stuff. So how does the WNBA as a company really get away or promote the women as just being basketball players, not women basketball players, but basketball players, and really introduce the sport to people who just want to see a quality sport?
I think that's a great question. I think that is an incredible question. I think that's actually what the league is trying to figure out right now, right? Is how do we promote these players as hoopers? These are ballers, right? They're women, absolutely, but they're hoopers. And they play such a pure, under the basket game that it would be in the league's best interest for the promotion to be of the game. I've seen so many men who I have known for years who have never watched the WNBA. And keep in mind, the WNBA started in 1997. So that's a long time for grown men to have never watched a sport. Right. And the reason why they don't watch the sport is because it's women. It has absolutely nothing to do with the play on the court. And I think that is key, is we need to make the conversations be about basketball. But that's really, really hard right now. It's super hard in this current climate. You have what did Pat McAfee call Caitlin Clark? A cash cow. Right? So everyone is focused on the money. Everyone is focused on the brand deals. Everyone is focused on the exposure. All of these conversations we're having are not about basketball. And I think that is what the league needs to get back to. But how? I really couldn't tell you. And I don't think they know themselves. I've written a few columns about this. I feel at least, again, my perspective, I can't speak for anyone else, that this got ahead of the W. They really weren't ready for what was coming. Anyone who's been watching, I've been at the Tribune for, it'll be 2 years next month. And so I've been covering Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and everything happening around women's basketball as a part of my job for the last 2 years. I was in Dallas for the Women's Final Four last year. So I saw this kind of percolating. I saw this coming, and I don't think the league was ready. I don't think they were ready, not from a PR perspective, not from a television perspective, not from a streaming perspective. So we're looking at a league who got everything they wanted faster than they expected, and they don't know what to do with it. Right now, all you can do is say, pay attention to the hoop, but all the other stories are just going to drown it out.
No, yeah, definitely. My question is twofold. It's a little more positive, but real quick, just talk about how the city has really embraced Angel Reese and the fact that, even though Cardozo was picked first, Angel Reese has really been, the superstar. She's the one that, we know when the W didn't stream their first preseason game, you had I forgot the number, but it was a lot of people just watching on the Instagram stream, just the way she attracts people and the way that the city has really embraced Angel. What has that been like actually being in the city?
It's actually been really cool. It's been really cool. The thing about, I think, the situation with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky is the situation was great for both sides. She is in a place that would embrace that dog mentality, that would embrace that I'm a baddie and a hooper, right? Like Chicagoans have this special, and I mean that in a positive way, y'all, this special way of just saying, this is who I am, right? This is who I am. You're going to like it. or I don't care. And I think she embraces that hard body, blue collar Chicago mentality of we go to work and we look fly and we do it all at the same time. It's an incredible thing to watch. But not only that is I feel, with the exception of Candace Parker, the Sky didn't have a star. I think having a star to cling to, having a star creates culture around the team. Having a star creates, an environment fans want to be a part of. And so I think she's perfect for where she is. And to take your question a step further, if you don't mind, I think we're kind of in like a young black star in Chicago moment right now. And I think it's going to have a great impact, not just economically, but socially. Because I'm not going to lie, y'all, I got invited to a Sky watch party. And I was like, word? We doing
We
Sky
doing
watch
that now?
parties? We doing
Yeah.
rooftop parties for the Sky? So I think what they're bringing, Angel and Caleb Williams and Rome and right, like you're just getting this young energy in the city. And like, who doesn't like young fly black kids? Like that's truly what it is. They bring in money, they bring in eyes. I also think with Angel, because of the supposed magic bird rivalry everyone is trying to create with her and Caitlyn, people miss that she was already a star. She didn't really need that rivalry. She didn't really need that moment of like shit talking to elevate her. She was already on the way. This girl she looks like a model. She's done everything big. Is that not the Chicago way? She's doing everything big.
And she embraces it too.
And
Like,
she
Yeah.
embraces
yeah,
it.
and the
She
city
embraces
embraces her.
the role.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
even seen like even even something as small as popping up to the concerts. Like G Herbo was like, "Yo, bring her backstage," and just like the support that they're getting already. Like the first game, of course, Dwayne Wade owns the team. They should have spelled his name right. As my mom always says, though, that's not how you spell Dwayne. But anyway, that
Dewani.
Dewani. Well, yeah. So Dwayne Wade, like you said, Caleb and Rome, Keenan Allen coming out and showing love. I feel like when it comes to certain athletes, they kind of just like embody a city. I
Mhm.
know of a city, maybe New York, that would have embraced her the way that Chicago does.
There's a benefit to being in the third largest market in the country. I don't think people want to talk about it. We are the not New York, not LA, still a big city, still a good time, flights everywhere, access to everything. Like she couldn't pop in and out of a lot of these WNBA cities the way she can Chicago, right? Like having these direct flights everywhere. Simone Biles talked about it when, I don't
She
have
was hype.
connecting flights anymore.
I'd have to drive to Milwaukee.
It's a big deal when you're young and being in a metro area. I also think what Angel brings to the Sky is a show of sisterhood, right? We've seen so much transition on that team. We've seen the last two players from the championship team are Diamond DeShields and Dana Evans. And Diamond DeShields is, not from Chicago, though, her family has ties here through baseball. And then Dana Evans is from Gary, which is as close as you can get to being from Chicago on that team. But somehow Angel, someone from Baltimore, came in and is taking the team with her everywhere. So that's also someone who's using their stardom as a platform for others. And I think that's huge. It's getting overlooked and people calling her this, that, and the third. But come on, she had half the team at the Meg Thee Stallion concert on stage while wearing a Barack Obama t-shirt. Like that's just embracing the city.
Yeah. And even when you talk about embracing the city, and then Bang got one question for you, and I got one non-WNBA question for you. Even when it comes to people like who they embrace Chicago, I can get like, I just rewatched Kevin Garnett's documentary. KG was here for 1 year, and like sometimes I think he was here for a decade. Just the way he embraced the city, the way the city embraces him. It's like some people it just meshes right away. And I think that's what hers has kind of been so seamless. Like I think even when she tweeted something is oh, where can I get my hair done? Or can I get my nails done? People was hitting up with with recommendations and stuff. The 5-star Barbie had the West Side niggas real hype. I was like, no, we got to get them from out west real quick.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Had to let that one go. Had to cut that.
Whoa,
We had to
whoa.
let that one go.
Y'all can't have everything, fam.
I have a couple thoughts. First of all, shouts to the West Side. My cousins live out west. Shouts to the West Side. Second, I would like to fight whoever recommended my nail tech to Angel Reese. Like, because she reposted something from my nail tech on TikTok. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now. Like, love my nail tech, Jayana. Love you. And I want her to get all the business. But if it start affecting my appointments, I'm going to have a problem with everybody.
I'm going to have an issue with that.
Hey, celebrity nail tech, right? Nail tech to celebrity nail tech.
But the thing about Chicago embracing you, I think I can speak to that on a personal level. I'm not from here. I went to college here. I work here. And yeah, I write about Chicago sports culture. And something I hear on a regular basis is people being like, you really captured the voice of the city. You really have this way of getting through to the voice of the city. And I think part of that is I'm Midwestern, right? We all have that intrinsic Midwesternness about us. But the city has embraced me so much that I now have to correct people and say that I'm not from here. Like, I got introduced for something and they were like, this is Shake, Southside Zone. Whoa, I've never even lived off the North Side. Like, what are we doing? It's wild that the city embraces people, but there's a certain quality you have to have. There's a certain authenticity, blah, blah, blah. Authenticity that you have to have for people to want to mess with you here. People in Chicago like real, whatever that means. It doesn't mean that you're out here projecting some image. You may make a mistake. You got to own that mistake. Like, I think that's what I love about here. And that's what people have embraced about me. I don't claim to know everything. I let the city speak. And I try to be the person documenting and transcribing instead of speaking for everyone.
Amen. And we appreciate that. Now, speaking of coverage, though, I think that today was important for many different reasons when it comes to, the talk around the WNBA. And it's not just about the coverage or the conversation, heated conversation between Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Monica McNutt. But it was also Pat McAfee. And we mentioned that briefly a little bit, that Pat McAfee, I think that Pat McAfee meant no ill will. I've heard many of white people use that term. I had an ex-girlfriend who used that term, and I said, don't use that term loosely around us.
Are we talking about the B word?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know that some can use that term loosely, and if you watch the whole segment, it definitely meant well, but I felt uncomfortable just off of the fact of the terminology that he used. And I don't think, especially in this setting, you should be bigger concerned to me about the way that the league is covered by men in general. So, like, do you share that concern? Because outside of like the post-game, the pre-game, post-game, halftime show, which has been getting a lot of love lately, with college basketball and now WNBA, you still have men when it comes to the television coverage. Like, so what are your thoughts around that? And do you have any concerns about men covering the sport that they might just don't necessarily watch like that?
I have a couple of thoughts. First, I want to start with language is important, right? The way we speak, the way we write about things, about others, about sensitive issues, it all matters. And I think where Pat McAfee is in his I'm not a journalist thing, right? Like, he's not a journalist, so he's not held to the same standards that say I am. However, he should be to a certain degree. I think when you're in a media space, the way we speak about people no matter what our role is, it's important. Whether you're an influencer, a journalist, a content creator, we just don't call people the B word, whether it's affectionate or not. I watch that and I watch for context, and I agree with you in that I don't think he meant it to be derogatory, but the B word in and of itself is seen as a derogatory term, specifically when you're referring to a woman. I wouldn't do it. You just don't do it. I've used the word socially, I might be like, oh, I'm being such a B word, but you better not call me that. And I think that's kind of the cultural difference that you were bringing up when you're like, don't say that around us, because for us, and by us, I mean Black people, we don't really play with it like that. You have to know somebody, you have to be close, and that's something for a private conversation, a personal conversation, or a personal connection. Now, as far as men covering the WNBA, I don't really have a problem with it, only because, I mean, look at the makeup of sports journalists, period, right?
Yeah.
There's such a small percentage of them who are women. And then there's an even smaller percentage of them who are Black. And then an even smaller percentage of them who are Black women. So I don't really on its face have a problem with men covering the league, but I would ask that men be a little more sincere in their coverage or their conversations, that they actively watch. And I don't mean just watch when the Fever or on ESPN. I mean, you're going to have to get that WNBA League Pass subscription, grind it out like the rest of us, figure out where the game is, what time it's on, when to watch it. I think talking about hoop is for everybody. I don't really have a problem with that. Man, woman, whatever. If you're talking about hoop, let's talk about hoop. Right. But there actually is a difference in a woman's perspective on certain things. And we saw that with Monica McNutt and Stephen A. and Shannon. Right. Monica was speaking as a Black woman who used to hoop, who covers both the NBA and the WNBA. And her perspective cannot be overlooked. It's an important one. Men can talk, but I'm just asking, I think, and maybe many people are, come with the level of knowledge that you would want a woman to come with. If you wouldn't let me join a conversation where I don't know shit, or I'm just talking or whatever, then don't do that. And I also think coming in and acting like you know everything is also a problem, right? Like, just talk. I think we can all have a great conversation about hoop. And maybe Scott's like, hey, Shakia, I actually haven't seen such and such play. What you think?
Yeah, I'll ask you, Dante, Pavi, because this is my first year actually really watching. So you hit the nail on the head right there.
And you're being sincere. And I think that's really what people want. All of these fights don't have to be this contentious. I think what people want is people who don't know anything to be quiet or ask questions or defer to people who may know something. But I don't really think it's necessarily a gender thing, though men have made it messy.
And the crazy thing about that is niggas don't be knowing sports either.
I know this firsthand, right? Is that men don't really watch sports the way that some of them, let's be clear, I don't want to not all men in my mentions, but like some of them don't watch sports the way that they think that we think they should, simply because they are men. I say that all the time. Like, I promise you, you don't want to do this with me because I've forgotten more about sports than you've ever known. So it's an interesting dance as a woman in this space. I usually just be quiet. You know me. I kick back. I'll hang back and let you be wrong. Like,
and then she'll bring up later that she was right about it.
I mean, I got an amazing record for being right.
Yeah, you're on a hot streak right now.
You go through and pull up some of my old columns. I know what I'm talking about. But I spend hours, days watching sports. Listen, I will be on a date, and the date will be like, oh, what are we about to do? We're about to watch the game. Whatever is on, we're about to turn that on. Like, so I expect that from everyone else talking about it too. Just engage. And if you don't know, let other people talk.
Basically, don't listen to his singles, listen to the album tracks too. Like, do like Pavi would take a Wednesday and watch like Hawks Spurs. I'm not wasting 3 hours of my time watching that.
But he doesn't view it as a waste.
Yeah, I know because he's a basketball diehard.
It's also a good game now, by the way.
Oh yeah, now it is because Wemby. But I mean pre-Wemby Spurs. Well, you know what I mean. But I know Dante, you had something real quick. I know we
Yeah.
got
No, yeah, real quick. You touched on it a little bit when you extended the question I asked you originally, but just going back to the city of Chicago and the youth movement, you know, Connor Bedard, Angel Reese, Caleb Williams, Rome. In your fandom, like, has there ever been a city to get this type of influx of young talent at the same time?
I want to put a little asterisk here on Connor Bedard. No. Um, so obviously he's great. He's dope, but we don't hear anything about him. We don't
Okay.
know anything about him.
yeah.
NHL players, I don't want to say they're historically boring, but they're historically muted. Like they don't project personality, which is why people were drawn to like Corey Crawford because he was funny and Patrick Kane because he was extra. But everyone else, I've actually been wondering this, right? If there's another city that has had just an influx of young stars like this at the same time and coming through the draft. Right. So I think when you put all of those factors in, it might be a very unique situation. A lot of cities get that one really big star and everything, you know, kind of goes around them. But Chicago right now, it's a hotbed for young people in sports. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but like I'm kind of hoping it trickles over. I've said this before on Twitter, but I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, the Chicago Defender used to have like a gossip column of sorts. And they would just kind of be like a what is this black celebrity doing in Chicago? What are they up to? I'm kind of hoping that that comes back. I would love to be sitting and reading the paper, reading a blog, and it's like, Angel Reese has lunch at RL Restaurant on Michigan Avenue, right? It's like, oh, okay, girl, what does she have? Like, I think those types of things are going to be just great. You know, those of us who are past 35,
Everybody on here is past 35 except for
perfect.
Bang.
So we know what the club like.
Bang gonna beat my ass. My
Look
bad.
at Pappy face, bro.
Oh, but no, Pav, he's not 35. He's 33. I just said past 30. My bad. I didn't mean to age you, Pav. He's a young buck here. My bad.
But I think we all can remember what the nightlife used to be like, right? And while I don't go out like that no more, I think the need to have places for these young stars to go, it could possibly kind of revitalize some of that.
So you
in
want
the
D
city.
Rose Lumen era, D Rose Taj Gibson Lumen era is what you're saying.
I mean, I don't want it, but I think the youth deserve it. I think
Right.
the youth deserve a concert where their favorite basketball player might be throwing up gang signs. I think the youth deserve a party where people are outside whispering about who's inside, right? Y'all
Yeah.
remember when Barbershop was filming here, aging myself, but I remember being downtown and people being like, Cuban him in Le Passage, Cuban him in this, that, and the third. Like, I think the young people can bring that energy, but I also think they can bring some dubs.
Yeah.
Having a winning culture and fun players and all of that, it's going to make the city, you know, not the, you know, factory of sadness that it's kind of become around sports. Not to steal that title from Cleveland, but because they can keep it.
They
But
need to get rid of the no shoes tonight, big dog. At the door. We ain't doing hats tonight, my G.
like I do think they're going to bring something, and they all are very competitive, right? I kind of love how competitive they are. Caleb Williams leading a Green Bay sucks chant before he's even taken a regular season snap is bananas to me. But that's how the city gets in you and you get in the city. It's like a mutual infection, for lack of a better word.
Definitely. Last question for you, and when you get you about it, this has nothing to do with what we just talked about for the last 30 minutes. The NBA Finals coming up. Should we judge black people who are not from Massachusetts who are Celtics fans?
No.
I think we should. I think we should.
mean, I think you can be anti Boston's antics or whatever. Because let's keep it a bean. This about to get real racial.
Oh, yes, it is.
Like, it's about
Oh, yeah,
to get
100%.
real racial. And the Kyrie comments are going to be wild. They're absolutely going to. And maybe, honestly, this will put a damper on all of the WNBA discourse because we've just had too many days of not being able to talk about them. But no, I don't think so. And the only reason I say is because you know what I'm gonna say. I'm rooting for Jason Tatum and his baby hairs. Like, come on.
I am rooting vehemently against Mr. Tatum. Vehemently. And I don't even hate Jay Tatum. I just
You
he
just
pisses
don't
me
like
off.
him because he's light skinned, Scott. I
No,
feel like
no. I support my light skinned society member. Steph Curry is on the board of members. We I don't know. We putting Drake in timeout. I don't know what's going on with that.
you
But
name one light skinned person in support of light skinned people. I just want to point that
Steph
out.
Curry. Yeah, you got me right there. I named one nigga. You thought about that. You got me right. I ain't got no answer for that. You got me right there. Oh, I don't even like Jamal Murray. You know, I'm starting to get somewhere.
You didn't like Jamal Murray.
No, I'm talking about I don't love Jamal Murray. Like, I'm not anti Jamal Murray like you are.
Are you you gonna put your boy Pat in there? Or are we doing the whole Twitter thing? He not all the way black.
You know
He's
I'm
not all the way
fucking
black,
with
but it's all
You
right.
know I'm fucking with Pat, man. You know I'm fucking with Pat. You
I
know I am.
ask.
You know, we need to do a deep dive episode on that one day. But I only say that because when I think of Celtic fans, I still think of Boston. I think about the 80s. I think about all that. I saw a lady with a Celtic fit on it when I was doing my walk in the morning. And I wanted to ask her, do you hate Magic Johnson? Like that was the first thing that came to my mind. Like,
Did she look old enough to even have
yeah, she did.
cared about Magic Johnson?
She did. That was an old school Celtic warm-up she had on. That wasn't.
What if she just liked it? What if she saw it at like the Salvation
I
Army?
would have thought that, but everything else was green. Whole fit was green.
Okay, but she was black, right?
Yeah.
You know how we dress.
Yeah, but whole fit super green going to
monochrome out.
I don't know. It had me thinking about it. So
I mean, I don't have a problem with people rooting for Boston in this. I mean, outside of this, you know, however many thousands of people just heard me say that, I ain't really gonna be saying it too much. But you know, I wouldn't mind if Jason Tatum and his baby hairs was named a winner later. But I also wouldn't mind Kyrie. Like, I watch Kyrie in Cleveland, and I think he's such a great person when he's quiet. And right now, he ain't talking; he hooping.
Thank you. That's all I said. Kyrie didn't cure cancer. He just learned how to shut up. That's what I said. And I got people calling me up in my Instagram comments. But like I said, thank you for joining us. G, I'm glad to have you on. We got to have you back on again. Let them know everything you got to anything. I know you send me articles all the time. I check them out. But let them know anything latest that you got that you want people to check out.
You don't be reading.
I do be reading.
No, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed being on. I've enjoyed looking at my little square. I look super cute today. I can be found on Twitter at Curly Fro. I know before someone messages me, I no longer have a curly afro, but I'm not changing the name. I can be found on Instagram at a little bit of dope. It is all spelled out, all correctly. Feel free to tweet me. Don't send me IG DMs.
You heard that? You heard it right. Do not send IG DMs. But I'm gonna holler at you, G.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Pat Vito, what's going on, brother?
Man, can I comment on the
yes, go ahead. We had you wait for a long time, so go ahead.
So I think the Celtics thing depends on how old you are, right? If you are damn near my age and above, and you a Celtics fan and you black and you not from Boston, I have questions about your character.
Exactly.
But if you like 28, your first memories of basketball might have really been the big three Celtics. And if that's the case, I respect it. Because the big three, like for instance, my dad, right? I was like, yo, I want the Celtics win just because, like, yo, we gotta stop this European shit, bro. We got 3 of the last 4 champions to be led by a fucking European. We got to get the sport back from each other. So like that's the only reason why I want the Celtics to win, because we got to get the sport back. But like my dad, no, he hates the Celtics because like the Celtics symbolize fucking white privilege and white supremacy throughout the really, I mean, it's actually unfortunate because the Celtics had, like, I think if I'm not mistaken, the first black NBA player, I think if I'm not mistaken, and then they had Bill Russell, the first black coach. But for whatever reason, throughout the 80s, because of Larry Bird Magic, they just symbolize, you know, whiteness. But yeah, if you older, if you my age or older and you root for the Celtics and you black and you not from Boston, I question your character. But if you are younger, like I said, if you 28, your first memories of basketball might actually be the big 3 Celtics with KG, Paul Pierce, Ray, Rondo. So I'm not mad if that's your team because that was the first team that you saw. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just taught to hate the Celtics, and that's pretty much what I got from my. I was a big KG fan. I was one of the few niggas who were actually Paul Pierce fans, but I just could not root for the Celtics. Now, did they have something to do with my boy Kobe playing against him in the finals? Yes, it had a lot to do with him. I was actually with Pav on Game 7 in 2010. I thought it was gonna be over for them niggas.
We was
And
together. I was so fucking mad. I did not like the Lakers.
that's what we was doing. We had to do summer school up in Columbia.
Yeah.
I'm about to drop you off, and they were down 15. When I got back home, they was leading. Even though Kobe shot terribly that game.
Yeah, key rebounds, man.
Key rebounds, my nigga.
Key rebounds.
Bang, what do you think about the black people in the Celtics thing? Are you with us, or where you at with it?
I always thought it was weird. I don't give a damn if you was then or now. I always thought that shit was weird because it's the Celtics. Ain't no swag about the Celtics. Green jerseys, black shoes, white socks. It wasn't nothing jiggy about the Celtics. They always seemed like a whole bunch of Rudies to me. So yeah, it don't matter what age you at, even with this big three. Like, but then it was like a lot of girls who like I knew girls who had crushes on Paul Pierce, and I was like, how? Ain't nothing against Paul Pierce because I don't know his track record or anything like that outside of when KG be yelling at his ass like, Lord, cut that shit out. But I always just thought that was weird. And I'm saying this because I don't think my wife had a crush on anybody on the Celtics. But if she was here now, I'd ask her, like, yeah, you liked the Celtics back in the day, didn't you? And she probably would say, yeah. I don't know why, though. I don't know why anybody would like the Celtics. Not for anything racial or anything like that. It was just green jersey, black shoes, white socks. Well, nothing swaggy about the damn Celtics.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with Pav. Like, if you grew up in the era, because we got to think about it, it was a time for like a solid 8 to 10 years where like the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots were all dominant winning championships. So if you grew up in that era, especially if you were a kid, you didn't see nothing but winning, even when they didn't win championships. That big three did have a couple other runs, Paul Pierce, everything he did. And then when they rebuilt it with Danny Ainge. So, the Celtics in comparison to the Lakers, even though they had the rings that Shaq and Kobe won, that long ass drought that we saw with the Lakers, I don't think the Celtics drought was as long. So if you're on the younger side, then I could see why you still root for him. Now, anybody else, like, your only excuse is Kevin Garnett. Like, because even don't tell me I was a Ray Allen fan and then he got traded. Fuck out of here. Like, I only like people who really tapped in.
How
with
many
hoops
genuine
really
Ray
call
Allen
out
fans do
exactly
No,
the niggas who tell
nobody.
I'm gonna say the only Ray Allen fans I know are the ones who will tell you, bro, he used to be dunking on niggas. Like, the people who always talk about how he used to be booming and his game changed. But other than that, no. Outside of that, I can't go for it.
Niggas was back in the early 2000s. There was like a couple fans. There was Kobe stands like myself. Everybody was an Iverson stan. T-Mac stands. T-Mac stands were like them Smack DVD niggas. Like, oh well, some song could out rap Hove. Like he was. That's usually what most T-Mac fans were.
If you was an AI fan, you rock with T-Mac.
Yeah,
I was an AI fan. I ain't rock with T-Mac.
I think because I think a lot of that shit was tied into people hating Kobe, and this goes into a deeper, darker conversation that we don't like to have. That I always bring up.
Let's just have it. Let's just have it.
Me and Scott as a resident,
I was one of them.
As a resident card carrying Kobe stan, G had the nappy fro since I was a shorty.
I had the moon boot like beans. I had the moon boot beans in 02.
I didn't like Kobe until the Muse documentary. I was like, oh damn, you actually kind of cool.
You know what that is? Liking Kobe after the Muse documentary is like white people who liked Muhammad Ali after he couldn't be able to talk no more. Like that to me is almost the same. Oh, well, Muhammad was great. Yeah, he can't talk, nigga. That's why you saying that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Bang, you gotta go be Bang. Oh, Bang gotta be Bang Mom's man real quick. He'll be back. Yeah, that's really what it came down to. Like, some people were just not Kobe fans. How many battles I had at lunch tables? Having to argue about Kobe. Like, when Kobe won number 4, I felt like I won that championship. Like, it felt like a big weight. You said who?
When Derek Fisher hit that 3, I was so fucking mad, bro. I was so mad, bro.
Niggas thought Rayford Alston
mad, G.
He said Celtics have had more black stars than the Lakers. That's not a. I'm pretty sure it's not a factual statement.
Nah, it's about the same. Honestly,
Okay, but
Yeah.
Boston, go ahead.
I'm trying to count them out like out loud. Like when we say stars,
mean,
like
Who
obviously.
the star?
JoJo
Bill
White,
Russell.
JoJo White, Bill
Okay.
Russell,
Sam Jones.
yeah, Sam
One-
Jones.
What's Microwave? What's the nigga name? Wasn't he on there?
Microwave was
Nah,
on the
he wasn't
Pistons,
on
my
there.
nigga.
Dennis
That was
Johnson.
Pistons.
I think about Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson.
Do we want to put Cedric Maxwell as a star?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's beloved in Boston. He's not a
Cornbread.
star, but yeah,
He's a personality.
He's
Like
a
on like
player.
some Joakim Noah Chicago type shit.
Cornbread.
Robert Parrish.
Robert
Chief,
Parrish.
That's 6.
Obviously, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, KG, Rondo, Tatum, Brown. Fucking like this. Honestly, about the same, low key.
Okay, so what we name about 12?
We named like 12 people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Lakers.
Time out. We gonna disrespect Isaiah Thomas like that?
He wasn't on the.
I'm joking, nigga.
No,
Isaiah Thomas
okay,
was on
okay.
Celtics, nigga.
Hey, we
Lil
forgot about
Isaiah.
Twan. We
Lil
forgot
Isaiah.
about Twan.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Antoine Walker. Lakers, you got to go. Elgin Baylor.
Casey Jones, that's another one.
Casey Jones, facts.
Casey Jones, that's another
Elgin Baylor. You got to go. Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Norm Nixon.
Norm Nixon.
Paul
Kareem.
Wilkes, Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Kobe, Shaq, Bron.
Lamar.
Odom.
We go. All right, fuck.
Lamar Odom.
We got a lot of country for Lamar. That's what I'm asking.
Lamar
We give him a lot of grace. That's what I'm
Fuck
asking.
Yo, we do shoot Lamar Odom a lot of bells.
I mean,
Lamar.
nigga said Casey Jones, bro. We can say Lamar. Like,
Okay,
come
that's
on.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay, we gonna
Yeah.
say Casey Jones.
Lamar.
Then you might as well throw Byron Scott up in there.
I
Am
don't
I
know.
lying?
I don't know
Am
about-
I lying?
Oh, Michael
Nick
Cooper.
the Quick.
Michael
Fish.
Cooper.
Michael Cooper,
Cooper,
Nick,
Hall of Famer. Cool.
Nick,
It's
Nick
about
the
the
Quick,
same.
Nick the Quick,
Nick, that's fine. Eddie Jones.
ain't
Eddie
down
Jones.
cross for us not
Eddie
to
Jones,
bring him
Eddie
up.
Jones, Eddie Jones. Yeah, it's about the same. Lakers maybe got like 2 or 3 more, but it's
Okay,
basically
that's
about the
fair.
same.
But you know what levels it out?
AD.
You know what levels it out? The city of Boston. End of discussion. Let's go to our actual NBA Finals talk, man. First of all, the NBA, man, they have got to figure out this final scheduling better. There's no way that last night shouldn't have been game 1. Like, there needs to be something where if a series ends earlier, that you push it up a little bit. When did the Mavericks clinch? What, on Wednesday, was it? No, it's Thursday. Mavericks clinched on Thursday. My man said Marcus Smart. I don't think so. Are we counting Marcus Smart? Fab, we count.
Player of the year.
Okay, we'll throw Marcus Smart in there. All right,
Player of the year.
we'll give him that. So I became a Celtics fan in '82. Where are you from? Boston, my brother. Put that in the chat for me so we can figure that out. Yeah, we'll throw Marcus Smart in there. No disrespect to Marcus Smart, but so let's actually talk about. So when it comes to scheduling, I feel like we shouldn't have to wait till Thursday. Like the fact that it's not like the Super Bowl. We have a week, but you got Super Bowl media hype train during the week. He said he's from New Jersey. I have a lot of questions about that, but we don't have time on the show. But I appreciate you for watching the show, William. We appreciate you for watching, my brother.
Do you remember what the Nets was like in the 80s?
That's a very
In the
very
90s?
good point.
Like I feel him.
That's a very good point.
feel him.
You know
I
what?
feel
You're right. William, root for your Celtics, brother.
You
Forget
want to
what we
root for
saying.
Buck Williams?
Yeah. That was
You wanna
baby
be a
for Doc.
Buck
It was
Williams
over.
fan? You want to be a
Dude,
Buck
I
Williams fan? A
Outside
Derek
of,
Coleman fan? Okay.
outside of Dr. J, who didn't even play did Dr. J actually play in New Jersey? I don't think he did.
yeah,
He
he did.
Okay. Okay.
he did.
So Dr. J,
He was gone by the 80s.
I didn't know anybody on the Nets outside of Dr. J until Jason Kidd got there.
No, you knew Drazen Petrovic.
Yeah, Petrovic.
You knew
I'll be
Drazen.
real. When I was a kid, I didn't know that nigga. All I knew was Jason Williams before it became shoot. Let me get him.
You want to
Before
be
he
a Keith Van
became
Horn
Nets.
fan? You want to
Yeah,
be Keith
Keith
Van
Van.
Horn
Hey,
fan?
remember that Nets cover?
Kerry Kittles, nigga. Like,
Kerry
Champs by
Like, what you wanna do?
2001. Remember that cover? Champs by 2001.
Michael Ray Richardson
Michael Ray Richardson is
before
a
the
name.
drugs. Shout out Michael Ray Richardson though.
when that nigga Jordan cooked the Nets in the first round, and then Jason Williams went on that podium and was like, he outside of my father and Bill Cosby, that's the only black man I love, or something like that. I was like, my nigga, like I know Bill Cosby was looked at differently in '97, but now that's wild. That's very wild. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. But Kmart, yeah, I feel Kmart. You know what's funny about Kmart? Was Kmart great, or do you like Kmart because he was Kmart?
He was good, bro. He was good.
He was good.
And
I
he
think
was
he's
way
one
better
of,
in this era.
and he's one of those prospects. Remember, he broke his leg, so like
Yeah.
it was one of those things where
We
it's like I
gotta
think
do
that definitely
a deep dive on
hampered
the
him a bit.
2000 draft one day. But
The worst
like I
draft
was saying,
of all time.
it's up there. It really is
No,
up there.
no, it's the worst draft of all time.
What was the draft with
It's the Andrew Bogut draft, ain't it?
Yeah, the Andrew Bogut draft.
No, hell no. Deron Williams and Chris Paul was in that draft.
Okay.
No, the only one that's close is like the Bargnani draft, but you still had Brandon Roy that got picked. Like, no, the 2000 draft is the worst draft of all time.
Okay, yeah,
the best player is probably Jamal Crawford,
Kmart,
or Zadrunas Ilgauskas, or Kenyon Martin. That's your top three.
That's terrible. That's god awful. But I wish there was a game today, but we gotta wait till Thursday. But let's just start with our. You said whole time. Hey, real talk. This draft might end up being it. This might end up being the worst draft ever.
I'm saying Pappy been scouting too much for that. He ain't like that. He ain't like that.
Pav can't name 5 prospects in this draft. Pav don't watch that much basketball.
Yes, I can.
Give me 5.
Alexander Sky, Reed Shepard.
This nigga got Wikipedia.
BCR. Nah. I don't.
Ronnie James.
BCR, Rob Dillingham. I think it's the name Ron Holland. There you go, 5. I can name 5 people.
That might be this week's IG reel. Name the participants in this year's draft. But
read the chat.
I bet you. Oh, okay. I wouldn't know that nigga if I saw that nigga across the street. Anyway, so when it comes, we've been talking about media coverage and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a typical first take question for y'all. Who needs the title more, Luka Doncic or Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum. No, if Boston don't win this year, bro, we gotta have some discussions. G. Like, no, if Boston don't win this year, they are the Buffalo Bills of the NBA. They are the 90s Buffalo Bills of the NBA. G, they done been about. G, do you realize they done been to conference finals like every year for like the past 7 years? Yeah. They done been there like every single year, bro. Now, granted, I know the team. Obviously, Tatum is younger and Brown is still young. These aren't old guys, but bro, at some point, G, y'all got to get this done. They should win this series. Even when you look at the team they have, like, bro, the whole starting lineup has, if I'm not mistaken, besides Derek White, who is a superstar role player, has been to an All-Star game. You got 4 All-Stars, really 5 All-Stars, because Horford have been the one. I know he's older now, but he's still been to a All-Star game. Like, he has a borderline Hall of Fame career. He might not make it, but a borderline Hall of Fame career.
Said nah, Tatum just PG if they PG
no,
light,
like
they lose.
The Boston Celtics.
That's facts.
That's facts. No, he's still better than Paul George, bro. Like Paul
Is
George,
but I'm talking about narrative wise,
he's still better than Paul George, bro. I'm sorry, he done been to 7 conference finals. Now, granted, I know that he done lost, but he done been to PG done been to 1.
That's a lot.
PG done been to 1.
PG been to 3. PG been to 3. 2 in Indiana.
You right, 3. You right, 3. Still,
went head to head with Brown before he broke his leg.
You right.
That's like a whole different career ago. Like,
you right. But still, it's Jason Tatum, bro. Jason Tatum needs his ring. Like I feel like Jason Tatum just isn't respected. Like, even when you talk about MVP talks, we don't even mention Jason Tatum. Now, granted, I don't think he should be mentioned, but we literally don't mention him, like, at all. He didn't get a single vote. Like, they won 66 games, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't get a vote. When the last person you seen won 66 games and be the best player on the best team and didn't even get an MVP vote?
I'm not trying to convince myself of that. I think Boston should win, but we'll get into our picks later. But go ahead, Dante.
I'm gonna say no. The question it was, who do we think needs the ring?
Needs one, right? Exactly.
That's the question. Like, no, and I agree. It's Jason, because like everything we've said, like, he's been to the peak of the mountain. He just ain't crossed that motherfucker yet. And it's, when it's only a matter of like how many times are we gonna watch you get there, and you can't always just use the excuse that they ran into a better matchup. And I think this year, especially when you have like you said, bro, you can't hide nobody on defense. They got 5, they all defend well, so I think the matchups, even though, like I said last episode, just don't put Drew on. Don't put Drew on Luka. I know they won't, but don't do it, please. Like, I love Drew, but I think Luka will cook him. But I think in terms of the narratives and everything we've heard with Jason Tatum and the way everybody tries to nitpick at him, because last series, I think he led his in points, rebounds, assists, and something else,
and still didn't get the MVP.
and still didn't get
why he
MVP.
didn't? Because niggas got eyes and saw how many times he got bailed out. That's why. And
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
that's
saying, look, I'm not one of these, Jaylen Brown better. No, he's not. Let Jaylen Brown see double teams every night.
Jason Tatum also has one of the worst final series from a star in recent memory. We don't talk about it.
Me and you talk about it.
We talk about it.
I'm gonna
The
go
North
further.
remembers.
The whole that whole playoffs was
god awful.
overrated. He
Yeah.
had 100 turnovers. That is
the
his
most
NBA
turnovers in
record.
NBA history.
Yeah,
no, he was wild.
God awful. It was
He
god
made-
awful.
bro. He made Andrew Wiggins look like Dennis Rodman.
Andrew Wiggins got another $100 million deal for guarding him, bro. He created multiple Andrew Wiggins' family will never know struggle, G. It could be 3,000, year
He got
3,000.
generational wealth.
His family will never know struggle because of the shit Jason Tatum allowed to get done to him. His family will never know struggle. That's Tatum's fault.
He said, "Who's Luka gonna guard on Boston?"
Oh, we not worried about that with Luka.
I'm not worried about what Luka guarding.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that.
I
I'm
ain't
worried about
worried
him getting 40.
Who gonna guard Kyrie when the ghost of Malcolm X creeps to him? Like the Malcolm X, Malcolm X gonna be talking to him like the Green Goblin mask.
He gonna wear them Air Moccasin 3s and light y'all ass up. Like,
hey, is Kyrie gonna bring the incense back out?
You know he is. He about to sage the shit out that bitch.
Ancestors. It's like that scene in Black Panther. He gonna be talking to Dr. Umar in the other plane. And when T'Challa was like, I am your king now. He gonna be doing that before game one. But I'm with y'all. Tatum has got to get it because I don't want to say anybody's playing with house money because once you make it to the NBA finals, no, you're not paying with house money. If you lose, nigga, you lost the NBA championship. And like we've been saying about Minneapolis, and like we've been saying about the Timberwolves, like we've been saying about OKC, the NBA kind of moves like the NFL now as far as windows. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know if they're gonna be back here next year. You know, it could be the Marino thing when we get there, he don't get back. So Luka needs to win as well. But we not gonna cook Luka the way we gonna cook Tatum if they lose. In fact, we're gonna talk about this later in the segment about what I think a win will do for Luka. But Tatum got to win. Tatum has to win because it goes to our next topic is do or die for these niggas. Like on paper, this is statistically, I'm not saying it's the best. Statistically, this is the best Celtic team ever. Just all straight up, they have a historic offense, historic defense, all that. They're supposed to win. I think they're heavy favorites in Vegas. I wish Mike was here so he could 100% tell me or not. But they're heavy favorites in Vegas. They should be. And I feel like their road to the finals, yes, it wasn't the sexiest thing. I wish they'd have beat these players with the star players playing majority of it. But you play who you play. You play who you play. And you got to give them credit for that last game against Indiana. They came back from 18. You know what I'm saying? So while I think it's smelly and they got to prove it to me, and I still want to see how they're going to be at the end of games when it's actually a close game against a team of this caliber, but they're supposed to win. If they don't win, I don't know. I'm not saying you break up the team. I think that's asinine.
You gotta do some shit though, Mike.
But you gotta do something.
You gotta shuffle the deck somehow.
You gotta do something, bro. You gotta do something, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Pat. What you think about like the ramifications for the Celtic organization?
Something got to happen, bro. The coach got to get fired. Like something got to happen, bro. I'm sorry, like, bro. You won 66 games. You got Jaylen Brown getting paid $300 million. You got Jason Tatum, and it's also with the second apron coming in next season. This is gonna be a very expensive team, bro. Like you got two people in your starting lineup getting paid $100 million. I think the salary cap is 160.
Oh, well, Tatum's about to get paid. It's going to be generational.
Yeah, they about to get their supermax.
Yeah, so you got two people on basically supermaxes. So you got maybe 120 between two players and $50 million for the rest of the roster. And you just signed Holiday, if I'm not mistaken, for like 4 years, one something.
Yeah, he got like a 130 deal or something like that.
That's already like, bro, this is going to become a very, very expensive team. And if they haven't shown the ability to be able to win, like the big one, win it, then you have to look to make some changes at some point. I don't know what those changes are, but heads got to roll, bro. Especially if they go out there and lose in embarrassing fashion.
Shout
Now, if
out
you
my
lose to
guy.
like
My bad, Fabby. Shout out my guy William. Latte Larry. Yeah, we are curb enthusiasts. Shout out to you for being a member. Go ahead, Fab.
now, if you go out there and lose on like a last minute buzzer beat in game 7, all right, man, you know what, whatever. But if you go out there, you losing.
No, hold on. He can't get cooked on that last minute, but he can't be
Yeah.
on
He can't
defense.
get cooked. He can't get
Yeah,
cooked.
he can't be the one. He can't get Paul George. So if he get Paul George, it's gonna get ugly out here, boy. Yeah.
So yeah, man. I just yes. Again, I don't. If they do lose, I don't know what they do, but something got to get done. That is for somebody who make way more money to decide than me, but they got to decide something.
Yeah, and I think it would obviously have to be just the reshuffling of the role players in some fashion, because as much as we want them to finally get a ring, you don't break up Tatum and Brown, like you, in my opinion, unless if I can't even say which one you would move, because obviously they both are extremely valuable. So
There's no trade
yeah.
unless Greg Popovich got drugged and said, "Do you want Wemby?" There's no trade.
Yeah,
you can
like
make for
there's
that.
no trade based off what they've accomplished together and the age that you would do that is really worth it in my eyes. So I think if you saw anything with a loss, it would be a reshuffling of the role players, and even with the coach. Like this ain't Milwaukee. Like obviously something was going on behind the scenes for bro to get tossed. You're not firing that man after he won 66 games. G. That would just be crazy. Unless he gets smoked. Like unless Luka unless they come out there and Dallas has a generational performance and they get them out of here in 5 games. They lose in 5 games and you got to make a change.
Hey man, don't let Kyrie and that white boy. We talk about Caitlin Clark. Y'all better thank y'all lucky stars. Luka ain't from Kentucky. Nigga, you think you heard Caleb? You think you heard Caitlin Clark discussion? You ain't heard
every billboard in America, boy.
You better be lucky this nigga's from Slovenia. Like, yeah, like I'm with you. I don't know. Like you said, Pat. Like, it's not. This is Brad Stevens' job to figure out they don't. They have to. If they lose, it has to be in. Man, they gave their best. You know what I'm saying? One of them type of situation. It has to be like how the 2007 Patriots lost. Like, come on,
some miracle happened.
Tyree wasn't even in the league 2 years later.
Like literally, that was his last catch in the NFL.
It was. It's even worse.
It's his last catch in the NFL.
Which is funny.
He didn't know. He didn't play the next season. He didn't play the next season.
Now he said Williams says that the Celtics will beat every team in NBA except Denver Nuggets. Last time let them on vacation. Yeah, but the regular season is different, brother. Regular season playoffs, 2 different things. This Mavericks team isn't the same team that even played the Clippers in the first round. I feel like they matured so much since then.
I've never seen no shit like this.
Like it's incredible.
Tumbo, this nigga Derrick Jones Jr. can shoot now. PJ Washington is fucking Scottie Pippen. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, even Dante Exum hitting threes. Like
Lively out there passing like Vlade Divac. G, what are we doing, bro?
Lively out there looking like early 1991 Finals Divac. Like
what are we doing?
Yeah, man.
It's that rare. It's it's one of the few ways now. I think if you want to have those 2 superstars, this is the type of team you have to build, where you have not only role players, but role players who know they role and embrace that motherfucker. Like that's one of the things that made the Warriors so great, because obviously outside of the Splash Brothers and Draymond, you had role players like Sean Livingston who knew they role and excelled at they role. So I think that's what we've seen from Dallas ever since the trade deadline. Like, and you got to give a shout out to Jason Kidd, because like for years people were shitting on him as a head coach, and now here he is on the precipice of being the first person to win a title as a player and a coach with the same team. Obviously, Bill Russell was a player coach, but he would be the first to do it as an official, as head coach and player. So it's a lot on the line, bro.
It's definitely a lot on the line. Let's talk X's and O's basketball wise, what the Celtics need to do to win. Pav, what's your keys for Boston to win this series?
Number one, they need Porzingis back. They need Porzingis back. I know they got through the rest of the playoffs, but they need him back. I think again, so many times Boston gets caught up in just swinging the ball around and just shooting threes, and I think they need a little bit more in between game. And also, I mean, defensively, I think that they have. I won't say better defenders in Minnesota. I'll say they have different types of defenders in Minnesota. Like they have guys who are a little bit bigger who can maybe offer Luka some more resistance. Like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are bigger bodies than what Jaden McDaniels is. I know Jaden McDaniels made all defense. I think it was second team or first team, but he's still a slender guy. He's still probably maybe 210, 6'9". Like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both stronger guys, so I think they can offer a little bit more resistance. And I think that in theory, you know, they like to switch everything. I hope that they don't just let these guys go one-on-one. No, I know they have good defenders, but great offense can still beat good defense. So I hope that like they do switch everything, but they help the helper, and they still play defense as a team. But yeah, really for me, it's just obviously just guarding those two guys. If you can like offer resistance to those two guys, and I don't know what Luka shot last series because I'm not looking at the numbers, but like Kyrie and Luka can't shoot 50%. If they shoot 50%, you're losing. Like you have to at least make them shoot 44, 42, something like that. So for me, it's just defense, and then also not getting caught up in that drive, kick, swing, shoot threes. Like, you know, getting some actual offense, getting some in between game in. And again, Jason Tatum, play better, bro. Because I still haven't been impressed with what Jason Tatum has done in his playoffs. Like I don't think he's shot 50% one time.
He hasn't.
So like bro, like Tatum got to play better.
He's shooting worse. He's shooting 29% from three.
He got to play better. So yeah,
what happens if Luka, Kyrie have said, well, they need one of them. They lose the series.
They lose the series. They might get swept, but they have a bad series.
If they have a bad series, them niggas be 1, 2, 3 can't come.
Literally. So my keys is defend, and even when you do switch, everybody still has to be on the string. 4 eyes have to be looking. Well, 4 sets of eyes have to be all looking at the ball, and they need Porzingis back because you need a little bit more in between game. You can't just drive, kick, swing, shoot threes. So those would be my keys for Boston.
Yeah, my keys would be, man, it's kind of like what you said. I need maybe from a selfish perspective. I always said my Jason Tatum criticism is because I want to do better. It's like your little cousin who got so much talent, and you want them to actually fulfill that talent. And not that Jason Tatum's weak. Like I feel like there's extremes with Jason Tatum, but he does a lot of stuff that he ain't supposed to be doing. I think really it sounds simple, but it's kind of like what Bill Belichick say: just do your job. If the Celtics play Boston Celtics basketball, they should win this series. And you're not gonna, I believe, stop Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic defensively. I think they're just going to have bad shooting series. As you saw in the game that they did lose to Minnesota, when they could have swept, it's because Kyrie and Luka didn't shoot well, especially Kyrie. And take the others out of it. You can't allow Daniel Gafford to be Mutombo. You can't allow Lively to be out here doing hee. You can't be allowing none of that. If you got PJ Washington on Lucky doing this, you niggas going home. So you need to control what you control, take the others away, and just don't want them niggas have a bad shooting night. But if they play the way they play, like you said, Porzingis, I believe if Porzingis doesn't play this series, they're not going to win. They need Porzingis to play every game because Porzingis brings a different element to that Celtics defense, Celtics offense, Celtics team in general. And that's why you saw the statistics were that better this season because he added something else. So it's real simple. Do your job, play the way you're supposed to play. And I believe they should win the title. Dante, what you think?
I somewhat agree, but I'll say this. I think it's one of those situations where, in terms of how you defend Dallas, like I said, it's going to be tough to stop both of them, but you have to try to at least hinder one. Because if you have a situation where, you know, some people say, well, let them get theirs and let the role players lock them all up. You have 2 guys who can, you know, combine, get you about 80 points, 80, 85, damn near 90, depending on how hot they get. So I think it's a situation where you have to pick one, whether it's Luka or Kyrie, and really try to hinder them. Because like you said, with last series, the one game they lost, Kyrie had a bad game, and that's why they lost. Like if Kyrie had a good game, they would have swept them and got them up out of there. So that's
fucking lost because Cat was out there playing like ass the whole time. That's why they lost like that. Cat was out there shooting 20% from 3 and 30% from the field, and they were still only losing about 5 points. That's why they lost.
Okay, that's another reason why they lost. But no, I think you really have to pick one of them and try to hinder them as much as possible. Try to get them off their game in some way, somehow. And my second thing is I would say don't fall into the iso ball trap because we've seen the Celtics be extremely streaky. And if you get into the iso ball trap and you, Jason Tatum, go out there and shoot 1 for 9 for 3, and Luka and Kyrie start lighting shit up, then that's when I think it can get ugly for Boston. So those are my 2 keys to victory for Boston, because I mean I picked them before the playoffs started, so I really think they should get this done, but it's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, you've been holding the fort strong all season. You've been saying that we're gonna bring Bang Wom's bands back. This nigga pressed the same button the same time I'm doing. He said I'm back like he wanted me to add him in it. Nigga, oh my god.
I'm back.
There we go.
Remember, I got the same access you got.
How you forget? You should have just came in there then. You said
I was about
like
to. I was so I could lead in, fam. So I just won't pop up. And y'all be like, oh, there go that nigga.
Yeah. Go ahead, though. The floor is yours, brother. What you think about this on the Celtics side for this finals? Like, I don't know if you. I can see you yelling in the chat areas. I don't know. You was pulling to me, but
I wasn't yelling. I was calmly trying to talk down an employee after some shit. Yeah, man, boy. So yeah, what like the keys for the Celtics?
Keys for the Celtics and what's on the line for the Celtics?
Oh, what's on the line? Ain't shit on the goddamn line, fam. But embarrassment. Yeah, I was watching TV today, and as we were saying earlier, it's funny seeing the legacy of 2 25-year-olds hanging in the balance, like they ain't 25, like these niggas gonna retire, like next year. But at the same time, when you are the Celtics and you go to all of these Eastern Conference Finals, and you do go to a finals and you do not win a championship, the pressure starts to mount. So the pressure is on the Boston Celtics to win, especially how they ran through the East. Running through the East the way that they did also puts a certain amount of pressure on you, because like after a while, people tend to think that you will dominate. That being said, I think some of the keys for the Celtics is, can Jason Tatum bounce back? Can he match? You look at the 2 best players on the team, on both teams, right? Do you have enough to beat those? And then also, what about the other players on the team? Like Porzingis looks like he's gonna come back. Can Mazzulla, can he not could he not be out coached by Jason Kidd? Could he not do stupid shit? Like there's a lot enough from the Celtics on the Celtics side where you definitely have some questions, but when you run through your conference the way that you do, and you have, I guess, 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA, top 15. If anybody want to debate it, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you should do that. And William, I'm talking about the Eastern Conference Finals, not talking about just the NBA in this case, just sticking it to the Eastern Conference Finals, because we don't give a damn about the regular season no more. That's why. But shouts out to you, William D. Jacksonville. But yeah, we'll see what happens, but it's a lot of pressure on them.
A lot of pressure on him. We're going to talk about this one thing when Damian gets on here. But Angel Reese just kind of went off in her media.
I saw.
Yeah, she went crazy.
It ain't just her, it's me.
She ain't just her, it's me too. She's
that's why we love her.
And I'm like, I feel like should tell Pac hold his head. We riding with him. But let's move on to the Mavericks side of this. Me, Bang, and Dante talked about the Mavs run on Friday. If you want to see what we said, you can check out the clip, or you can just go to my Instagram and see people calling me an idiot in my IG comments from what we said. But Pav, what's your thought on the Mavericks run from the last year and a half, from Kyrie being outed of Brooklyn to where they are now?
I mean, I think it's been incredible, and management looks like geniuses. Even bringing in guys like PJ Washington, who was in Charlotte. Charlotte, he never played winning basketball, and him being able to come in and play winning basketball. Even like I thought they was tripping for tanking last season, but they tanked and they pick up and they kept their pick, and they picked up Lively, who has, I mean, he couldn't have won Rookie of the Year, but if you gave a Rookie of the Year award for the playoffs, it's Derek Lively. So I think that they just look like geniuses. In general, they got even like they lost Jalen Brunson, but then you get Kyrie Irving. You get literally the best possible person that you could possibly put next to Luka Doncic. I remember like thinking like, yo, like back in the, I think I tweeted this a long time ago or said it on the show, like, yo, the person you would need to play next to Luka Doncic is like Kyrie Irving, and they literally got Kyrie Irving. And just the guys buying in and playing defense. I mean, even Kyrie, like fuck Kyrie's offense. I've been impressed with Kyrie's defense. Like the whole playoffs, Kyrie has been
man, Luka, honestly.
Yeah, like the whole playoffs. Like if we made an all defensive team for the playoffs, Kyrie Irving is first team all defense for the playoffs in my book. Like he's been locking up. So I mean, I think the whole thing is incredible. I'm not mistaken, they are the lowest seed since the Houston Rockets to get to the finals as a 5th seed. So I think the whole
the Heat made the 5th seed. That was during the Mickey Mouse Invitational. So that's probably why you forgot.
You're right. But well, no, I mean, well, he with the 8th seed last year made the finals, but still, they're one of if they win, they will be the lowest seed since the Houston Rockets. I mean, 95 to win. So yeah, I think the whole run in general just been incredible, and I got to give kudos to. Really, I want to give kudos to Kyrie because I've never seen him play this complete basketball before. Like this level of I've seen him score mad points, but as far as him being a complete basketball player, I've never seen him play like this. So kudos to him, kudos to Luka, kudos to Jason Kidd, who, like you said, people have had many questions about throughout the years, but he figured it out this year. And kudos to management for figuring it out and putting this team together. And you see the results. And win or lose, I mean, next year this team can be right back to where they are right now because, I mean, you still have a bunch of young guys. I don't think anybody has like super crazy contracts. I know Luka's gonna get a crazy deal eventually, but like nobody has like super crazy contracts. So again, kudos to them, and yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, definitely kudos to Nico Harrison, Jason Kidd, the new ownership of the Mavericks, because it's not my nigga Mark Cuban. He still owns a piece of the team, but he gave up most of it. But he's still Mark Cuban. But let's talk about what a title would do for Luka. We talked about who needs it more. But let's just live in a world that Luka Doncic wins this championship, his first championship at 25 years old. And this is a guy who Pavy's been telling me about since he was like, nah, this, because I was like, is he really gonna do this? I was one of them niggas, is he gonna do this in the pros? And Pav was like, nah, nigga, like, he said, y'all keep talking about even this before Zion. Y'all keep talking about Zion. No, this nigga here, like this is the guy right here, and he's been five all NBA already. Like it's nasty. So you add all of those accolades, and he wins the NBA championship. I personally think we've been talking about this face of the league thing, and I don't think it's hard for somebody not for America, in my opinion, to be the face of the league. But he's definitely, we're gonna be talking about this nigga the way we talked about Jokic the last year, honestly, and then maybe even a little more. I think it's gonna take him to the next level, and you're really gonna see. Okay, the question was for years, who do you even build around Luka? You know what I'm saying? Like that was the question for years, and Kyrie is the perfect. We want to go in the history of 1B guys or two or the best of Robins. He's high up there. Now, I feel like he was LeBron's best teammate, in my personal opinion. I know I
said this a long ass time ago, and you argue with
you did. See, this is the Pappy says stuff. It says wild at the time, but you are correct. I did argue about that on early
way days. Old ass in his damn knee, man. His knee wasn't man. He for fucking 1 year he was called his best teammate.
D-Wade was point shaving in the 2014 finals on 100%.
I remember.
But just the way that him and LeBron's game meshed. And I'm probably gonna yell at me about this too. I actually think Anthony Davis and LeBron mix better than D-Wade and LeBron too. But anyway, I think this is gonna do wonders for his career. If he does that, and I think if he wins this, it'll be a great look for Dallas. It'll be a great look for Kyrie. I would like to see Kyrie get another ring. Contrary to popular belief, I do not hate Kyrie. I just think that he shut the fuck up sometimes, which he did this year. But I think it's going to take him to the next level. I think the NBA will have a young guy who they can rally around. And I think it'll be just overall just great for him and for the NBA if he's able to do this, even more than Tatum, because as we said, Tatum is a really good player. But I don't think there's ever going to be a time in the NBA where you look at Tatum as the best player in the NBA. Like, he'll be on the MVP ballots, but he's not ever, in my opinion, going to be one of the top 3 finalists. Luka was already a finalist. He's the scoring champion. And if he wins the championship this year, He'd be the first scoring champion to win an NBA championship in 24 years. Shaq was the last one. So I think that'd do wonders for him if you win. Pav, what do you think a title will do for Luka?
I think it would start heading him towards GOAT conversations. Like, seriously. I mean, you played the league 5 years. He already, 5-time first team All-NBA. He's 24, 25 years old. If he wins this year, win or lose, he's probably going to win MVP next year. He's going to put up the numbers, and usually you got to like lose a couple times before you win MVP. And yeah, I mean, if he gets a ring this year, especially, I think that even with the way he out there on the court talking to people crazy. Like, he out there on the court talking to people insane. If you let him win a ring,
yeah, it's gonna be
like, bro. Like, if you give him the confidence of actually winning a ring
and
with the way he's talking to people right now,
parade Luka.
As like, listen, as long as his body holds up, because granted, he don't have the African blood. You know, even when you for real, you don't have
the strength of the Black Panther.
You don't look like, like he's like the most fit guy in the world. Like, I mean, it works for him. It isn't like he's the most fit guy in the world. But as long as his body holds up, I mean, why can't he win 2-3 MVPs? Why can't he get a couple more rings? Why can't he be, 12-time, 13, 14-time All-NBA first team? Like, he would be putting if he wins, I think already he's putting his name in like a special hat, but it would be a different type of special hat if he's able to win this ring this year and continue it. Because again, the man's 25 years old. So long as let's say his body does hold up for the next, 14 years. I mean, I don't even want to think about what the numbers that he could, amass and, where his lore would be in NBA history. But yeah, if he wins this one, he's putting his name into a really, 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 really special hat.
Dante, what you think?
No, that Pav just hit the nail on the head. Like, for you to win an NBA championship, and then honestly, we all pretty much know if they win NBA championship, he'll probably be MVP. So to be 25 on the NBA Finals MVP, 5-time All NBA, 5-time All Star. Based on everything he's done so far at this young age, it would definitely catapult him into that conversation and start to stack his resume. I think Orlando talked about him being named as the best player in the league. I think that's already a conversation, and it's also kind of disingenuous when somebody wins the ring and we just say, okay, this is the best nigga in the league. They tried it with Giannis. He ain't been back since. It's one of those things where every time somebody wins a ring, we don't have to have that conversation. Yeah. But with everything Luka's done, I could see that easily being the start of that conversation for Luka. Like, is he the best player in the league? Because you've had people whisper that, or some people just say, they're not even whisper. You have some people who feel that way now. So I think this would just take a lot of the he's not a winner shit off of him. And then it would completely change that conversation at an age where it's important, because if he don't, then you look up and you Paul George, even though he's way better than Paul George. But the narrative starts to go to, you can't win, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that would just change everything.
I noticed Paul George is the Meg Griffin of the NBA. Nobody likes Paul George, bro.
People love Paul George.
The young players love him.
Paul George. Players. People love Paul George. We just maybe don't love Paul George. People younger than us love Paul George.
Okay, well, us niggas who are Paul George age group, they treat that nigga like Meg Griffin. Shout out to William in the chat. He says, really enjoy you guys' content. Very respectful conversation. We appreciate you, William, for watching. We could be talking to air right now.
Hey man, he said a joy.
A joy.
I'm about to say this. Normally we not respectful. So
normally we don't get that. Yeah.
Well, William D. Jacksonville, like, yo, a joy.
Shout out.
How old are you?
He said even a Celtic fan is 82. So y'all in the same age group.
No, I was born in 82.
Bang gonna put a bottle over my head like Shawn Michaels.
I'm gonna stop calling me Unc. I'm gonna Steve Stout your ass. That's what I'm gonna do. That's bad timing.
It is bad timing.
It's bad timing. Hey man, Kanye West apparently was beating this meat in front of his assistant too now. So
he pulled the Vin Diesel.
He's a point.
Hey, you know this Dominic Toretto that went under the radar, nigga. They was like Vin Diesel was beating off in front of his assistant. And they was like, tell him Fast 12's getting pushed back a year. And then nobody talked about it. But you said
no.
Stephen A. Smith dropped his diss track
Yeah, he dropped his diss track.
on his platform.
Yeah, on this platform. I was trying to listen to it for a little bit, but he just dropped that joint right there. So that's gonna be interesting to see or listen to.
Yeah, but go ahead, Bang. What you think a title do for Luka?
Hey man, I was looking at Pav crazy when he said GOAT conversation, but then I thought about it. It's like, well, the way we talk about sports right now, and the way Luka has been since he's entered the league, and how if they do win this is a potential back-to-back team too. I think both of these teams are potential back-to-back teams because Luka is definitely somebody that you don't want to give an opportunity to win a title to, because once he gets it, I don't think he's going to let up. I at least hope that he don't let up. I hope he don't go grab a 6-pack of malt liquor to celebrate. With that being said, man, this would do wonders for Luka. This would put him among the greats the way we talk about sports today. So, and I was just about to say that. I didn't even see that over there because I still got it on the other chat. But yes, if this were to happen, all the Luka and Bron before 25 conversation is fever pitched. It is fever pitch. Because when did LeBron James win his first title?
Like 27.
27, 28.
I
So
don't agree, by the way. But yes, it will be. Yes.
Yeah, it would be fever pitch. Oh, Luka did this before Bron at 25.
Just
Luka
you wait till you see what I got up my sleeve,
that.
brother.
This, that.
Just you wait till you see what I got under my sleeve.
Well, you better believe. And I hate to say what I'm about to say, but it happens to people like us when it comes to stuff like this. Boy, let LeBron James Jr. be Huff in the league. Then it's going to start being LeBron is forcing this, forcing that, and then the tide is going to turn. But then Luka out there with a ring.
Did you read my 2025 playbook?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Did you take my playbook like they took Trent Dilfer's playbook in the 2000 AFC Championship game?
No, I didn't. But let me guess, we on the same page?
Oh, we on the same page, nigga. I'm right with you. See what happens when you force children,
man. I'm telling you, I just feel like
I have no shame, brother.
I just feel like that this is the start of the tide turning around LeBron and the conversation. And if you got somebody like a Luka that is going to come through and be that champion, oh man, boy, the narratives in 2024, 2025.
It's gonna be something special.
Nasty.
It's gonna be something special. Let's go to what the Mavs need to do to win. Give our keys to that path. I'm gonna give you the floor. What do the Mavericks need to do to walk out of here with their second franchise championship?
Guard and let go and let Kyrie and Luka. And if they like can continue to play defense the way that they've been playing defense, really honestly since the All-Star break. I know that we kind of like just noticed in the playoffs, but they've been a really great defensive team since they made these trades. So they continue to guard. And if Kyrie and Luka can continue, creating offense the way that they've been creating offense at even a higher level than what they've been even doing in the previous series, then they're in good shape. But I think it's really simple for both teams. I think both teams, like at this point, you in the NBA Finals, just keep doing what you was doing, but do it the best that you've ever done it. And if you do that, I think that you'll be straight. And that's really, I don't really have no super. I mean, it's not like they out there running some crazy offense. It's just like, Luka, create a mismatch, score the ball, or make the right play. If you catch it, you got to knock the shot down. Kyrie, same thing. And defensively, just play better. Just guard people, keep people in front of you, and the role players do what they do and the stars do what they do. So it's not like they're out there doing some super intricate, I don't know, 20 45 offense.
Triangle offense.
Yeah, they ain't like they not really out there doing that. So it's just, continue doing what you're doing and do it at a higher level than what you've even been doing it, and you should at least be in good shape.
I think for me, man, is keep playing defense the way they've been playing. If they keep playing defense as hard as they have been, win the rebound battle, which is going to be we're in the offensive rebound battle because that's something where the Celtics kill you. Al Horford is very annoying playing because he's an old nigga and he still should be playing as well. Box out, get rebound, make Jason Tatum try to play 2K basketball. Like make him think that he can go 1-on-5 and beat you. And more importantly, just Luka and Kyrie be you. Luka, Kyrie, we need you. And like the Taylor made freestyle. I do not want to see Jason Tatum hoist the Larry O'Beast. I need that to happen. But I think if they do that, they'll give themselves a chance. But what's tough about this is at their best and at the Celtics' best, it's hard to see them over the Celtics. But you just got to hope that Kyrie and Luka have special series, which they're fully capable of having. And I think if they have that, and the others do the way that do their job and don't make mistakes. I feel like the Celtics can afford more mistakes because they're a deeper team. If they limit their mistakes, I think they'll be NBA champions. Dante, what you think, man?
Yeah, no, I think it's big on them being themselves, bro. Do what got you here. Like you said, one of the reasons they've been so successful is because their role players have bought into their roles. They've allowed their stars to be the stars, rely on them. And, so far, Luka and Kyrie have come through every time they needed them to. And so that's my real concern for Boston is because as we've all seen in the NBA playoffs, when you got a superstar and they can really get into that God mode where like every shot is falling. And Kyrie, we already know is special. Luka, we know is special. We saw what he did last series. We saw what he's done. And now for him on this big stage when he has been playing professional ball since he was 13. So I think that's one player we know is pretty much guaranteed he's not going to be rattled or we're going to get the same Luka we get all the time because this is not anything new to him in terms of the stakes. So I think for them, it's just remember what got you here. Continue to lean on your principles that you've been using to get this far. It's funny. He fucking tweaked so bad. Kyle Kuzma turning down the trade to Dallas, but now you have a team that all believes with each other. They play on the string. They're always moving. Lively. Hopefully the week off he had. There's no more lingering effects from the blow he took to the back of the head. And I think that will help them because you're gonna need Luka and Kyrie to just be special for the 4 games that you win. Like I think that's what's going to be necessary. Because at the end of the day, with the Celtics, I think it's one of those situations where we're kind of just, I don't want to say voter fatigue, but it's to the point where it's like, all right, bro, y'all were top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense. Y'all ran through the playoffs. What are y'all gonna do? So I think with Dallas, like I said, lock in on what you've been doing to get here and then let your stars carry you because you got 2 special guys. We saw what Kyrie did in the finals. And so I think Luka, his very first finals appearance, we got the chance to see something special.
Bang, you've been saying all playoffs. If Luka and Kyrie are who we think they are, they should win. Do you feel the same way in this series?
Yep. If Kyrie and Luka are who we say they are, then Dallas should win this series in 6 games. You
jump right to the predictions, but go ahead.
No, I ain't picked nothing.
Oh, okay.
No, I ain't picked nothing.
All right, cool.
I said they should win.
Okay.
In 6 games. You have a situation where you have Kyrie who not only has finals experience, he might have the finals experience. That trumps anything over in the Boston Celtics locker room. He has the series because he got the series and they went against the same team and probably should have beat that team. So I'm standing on that. If they are who we say they are, they should win this series. But it's still a lot of questions. I think it was Dante who had said, or maybe it was Pat, but either way it go, you look at the players outside of the 2 stars, and it's kind of hard seeing them beat those with those players. Like you got Porzingis that's more than likely coming back this series. And that to me is major.
Yeah.
Major. That's like literally unicorn right there. That's coming back to the team. And then just some of their pieces, their bench players are just and this token better. So can the try hard Dallas Mavericks, can PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford do that thing? Is Lively going to be back and be good this season? I mean, this series, it's a lot of questions on the Dallas side, but when you have the two players that they have, they can even up a series for anybody just off of themselves alone.
That is very true, man. I think that you're gonna really see like the battle of like the stars and the not to say that the Celtics ain't got no stars, but I feel like the more complete team, which one is gonna win, man. So now it is time. Drum roll, please. For the moment you all can hear. Prediction. The last time this NBA season we will be predicting things. So let's just get right to it. I'm gonna go first with this. In these 2024 NBA Finals, I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games. The reason I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games is really because Jason Tatum got to show me. I believe he's capable of doing it. If he does it, I will shut up. Um, this is probably first takey. But even if the Celtics win, and it's because of Jaylen Brown and like Porzingis or something, my take on him will not change. But if he goes out there, does this thing, it's going to be a battle. But I just think it's just too much Kyrie, too much Luka. It feels like this team knows what it takes to win. Yes, the Celtics are experienced, but Kyrie Irving is the only player between both of these teams who have won an NBA championship. Well, Drew Holiday won, but somebody who's a guy, and not no disrespect to Drew. Drew is a great defensive player, but Kyrie knows what it takes to win. He's kind of put the battery in Luka's belt, and I mean in his back, and it's kind of like what you said, Pav. He talks shit, bro. He's a psycho, and I really feel like this is his moment. When they got to when they got to the West Conference Finals 2 years ago, we all knew they had no chance to win that series. The Warriors are rolling. Nobody really gave them a chance, but this just kind of feels like their year. And I'm gonna roll with better offense beats better defense when you just got those two dogs. And I think you're gonna see a generational series. I think you're gonna see kind of a replica of what we saw from LeBron and Kyrie in 2016. And even in 2017, because I believe honestly, like that Warrior team was so stacked, we kind of forget just how potent that 2017 Cavs team was. It might have been offensively better than the championship team. So I think you're gonna really see Luka and Kyrie mesh. And I trust Jason Kidd as a coach more than I trust Joe Mazzulla. So I'm gonna go Mavericks in 7, and they're gonna hoist that Larry OB on the parquet floor. Pav, who you got in how many games?
I am going Boston in 6 because it can't go 7 because you do not want to go 7 when you don't have the best player in the series. Yes, I think Luka obviously is the best player in the series, but I think the other two best players and damn near maybe even the other three best players are on Boston, just because I think that you can kind of. I've seen Kyrie's work against this Boston team a couple years ago when the Nets got swept. Kyrie was on that damn court getting his ass whooped too. Now, granted, obviously playing with Luka is a little different maybe than playing with KD in that stage, but he
You
was
mean
on
the
the court.
series where everybody said that Tatum was better than KD?
Yes. When they when they got swept, he was on the court getting his ass whooped too. So just want to. I've seen that. So I think Boston is 6 again. I think that Boston has had the best team in it. Well, obviously they've had the best team in the NBA all season. We've spoke about it ad nauseum. Historic this, historic that, historic this. I think it's just their time to win. And I think that if they play how they should play, they can win this series, and they should win this series in about 6 games.
Dante, man, I think we already know who you got because you said Celtics, but tell us why you got Celtics in this round and how many games.
I think the Celtics, despite the way we nitpick at some of the things that they may do, they're an extremely complete team. Like there's really nothing I don't think they can do, they can't do rather. And so I think it's to the point now, like I said, when you have a team that's been as extraordinary on both sides of the ball as they have all season, it's just going to be a culmination of that. And so I think no matter how great Luka and Kyrie play, I do expect Boston to pull it out. I got Boston in like you said, obviously, but I got them in 6 games. 6 games. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7, just because you have two extremely talented people in Luka and Kyrie and a motivated Dallas team. But I think at the end of the day, the depth, the way that they play together, and again with Jason Tatum, say what you want, but as long as he doesn't have a stinker of a finals, I think he'll do more than enough for them to get take care of business. So I got Boston in 6.
I got Luca as my finals MVP. Pav, who you got your finals MVP?
Jaylen Brown.
Jalen Brown. Dante, who you got your finals MVP?
Redemption song, Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. All right, Bang, give me team, game, and finals MVP.
Oh man, this is more difficult than I thought.
It's a pick'em series, man.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I'm picking Dallas in 7.
There we go.
Yeah, it's Kyrie, man. Like Luka gonna be a dog in this series. Truly believe that. But I think the mental makeup of Luka, Kyrie, and the Mavericks in general, I think beats out the Boston Celtics. Is Boston the more talented team in this series? Yeah. But they're not going to be able to break down Luka and Kyrie. And I think Kyrie is not going to let them break down anybody else on this team. And if I were to look at, we was kind of talking about Jason Tatum and Luka, I think that person who needs this series the most is neither one of those two. I think it's Kyrie.
Okay.
I think Kyrie needs this series more than any other person on this court, because you got to think about it. Like we talk about Kevin Durant and him leaving a team and all of that. Same thing that Kyrie did. Kyrie wanted to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers to build his own thing, and he went to Boston. The thing didn't end up right, and then he went to the Nets, and he's blamed for that situation. And like, people look at Kyrie as the blame for that situation. So you leave LeBron James, you go to a team that has young stars on it, and it don't work out. You go to the Nets, and they blame you for everything. Then you go to the team that you didn't want to go to. You wanted to go to LA, and it's just working out. This right here exercises all of that. I know you said he didn't cure cancer, and he didn't. But this exercises a lot of things that went wrong. And this is one of those situations where the road might not be smooth, it not be straight, it might not be paved with gold, but the goal is still the same. So if he does this, it changes. We think the narrative has changed now. Oh my God, it completely changes if Kyrie could pull it out. And I think at this stage in his life, you could tell when you talk to him, when they talk to him, he's just calm and serene.
Yeah.
That's that quiet killer. He know what's in front of him. And again, he was on the team that came back from 3-1, and he hit the game-winning shot.
Biggest shot in Ohio history.
That's the person that has went through all of that to now be back into this situation. Scary hours. But Dallas in 7.
I'm glad I'm glad you're on my side. We're pretty much split on this, man. I'm looking forward to this series. Last year, it was born in a series. Like I think we kind of all knew that the Nuggets was gonna win. Jimmy Butler ran out of, I don't know. Jimmy Butler, his powers got taken away in the finals. It just was never a competitive series. This ain't gonna be that. Like, and I'm really looking forward to watching this on Thursday, man. So we got another 3 days to that, but we're gonna wrap this segment up. I think Damian sleep. So this nigga ain't text me back. Granted, Damian's a little under the weather, so I'll shoot him some bail. It's one thing Damian always is, and me and Pav knows, is on time. So something might have to happen. So we'll get him on probably on Friday. But Pav, let them know where they can check out your podcast. You've been getting a lot of love on your pod. Let them know they can check out the music and everything you got going on.
Yeah, as always, man. You can check out, you can find me on everything at Pavy World. Like Pavy World is my YouTube, Pavy World is my Twitter, my Instagram. I'm going pavyworld.com. You want to check out my music, type in Pavy. pretty new record if she wasn't engaged out right now. Yeah, so go check out all of that and all of those, all of y'all that have been enjoying on the courtesy of the Baxter Pod. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, keep watching. New episodes coming really soon.
Keep streaming, keep checking it out, man. Pat, we gonna holler at you next week, brother.
My man.
So we're going to talk we got a couple NFL topics I want to talk to you brothers about before we wrap up here, man. I'm actually want to play something about Hard Knocks. I wanted to had like a little deep dive on Hard Knocks and playoff history and see how that fared out for a lot of teams. We'll get that in a moment. But Justin Jefferson, there's been a lot of payments going on. Justin Jefferson got paid today. I feel like do y'all have players in the division who you secretly are fans of?
Ooh.
Because mine is Justin Jefferson. It used to be Devontae. Then he went to Vegas, and I could openly root for him.
I mean, this is my thing. I don't keep shit secret. Like, niggas don't pay my bills. If I like somebody, I like somebody. You feel me? So, like, no, I'm just saying, because I know that's a sensitive subject inside of Bears Twitter and just fandom in general. Like, but I've been like that for a while. Like, at this age, yes. But like, Jettas is a dog. I quietly, somebody I like who I really don't know why. Aaron Jones used to bust our ass, bro. But like,
you know what? Aaron Jones
very solid. He's a very solid running back.
Jones is a really nice guy. Shout out my man Lotto, because Lotto knows Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones FaceTime when I was like, tell Aaron Jones I said fuck the Packers, and then Aaron Jones was like, oh, I understand why he feels that way. Tell him I said what up. So he's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Aaron Jones.
Man, Lotto don't know.
Lotto knows everybody.
Everybody.
Lotto be the only nigga like hit you like, yeah, nigga, I'm having lunch with Stevie Wonder. I'll call you back. Like that's just like shit.
I don't know why Aaron Jones is random to me, but Aaron Jones is
random. Lotto used to manage one of the tight ends on the I don't know if he's tight end offensive line. He used to manage the Packers. And I used to give him shit. Used to give him shit about it. But in fact, the nigga was at my house. I just realized I had a Packer at my house. It just hit me, and I didn't know he was on a Packer. He was a rookie. And then Lotto's like, yeah, you pay for the Packer. I was, I should have kicked both of y'all niggas out.
Man, I'm not a fan of anybody right now, but I was a huge John Randall fan back in the day.
I always say about John Randall when Keyshawn yelled at nigga, you a fake ass John Randall.
Yeah. Like John Randall. I was a fan of John Randall. Man, who? You know what?
Randy Moss.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, Randy Moss.
My mother literally stopped me from buying a Randy Moss jersey when I was a kid. She said,
yeah, I was about to say, oh no, I'm tripping. Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy Moss.
Okay. Can I make an admission here?
Go ahead.
There was a time in my life while I was still a Bears fan, I was a Minnesota Vikings fan too.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, I was a Minnesota Vikings fan. I had the hat.
Was it just because of Moss?
This was before Moss.
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it Willie White shoes, nigga? Like
it was like 90. It was like 94, 95.
Who was on the 94 Vikings?
I can't like Robert Smith.
That's nasty.
Like Robert Smith and them. Yeah.
Was that Denny Green?
Yeah.
Okay, I give you a little bit. Black coach. I give you.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to like the Lions.
Mute bangs. We got what they do on Levitar. We got to send you to the penalty box.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to like the Lions because of motherfucking Barry Sanders, and you couldn't pay me to like the Packers.
He said you was rooting for Frank Tucker. See, I had an Ahmad Rashad joke.
Orlando,
but I did too many age jokes today. That's why I didn't let the Ahmad Rashad joke fly.
Hey, Liam. Orlando's doing a little bit too many old jokes, man.
But yeah, I mean, mine now is Justin Jefferson. Even though I hate his nickname, I hate the Jettas nickname. I hate Jay Jettas. It's very hard. He's too cold for that Huff nickname. But he put out a nice little video, thanking everybody. But this is his deal: 4 years, $140 million extension. And these are the only numbers right here that matter. $110 million guaranteed and an $88.743 million signing bonus due at the actual signing. He is the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to last long because if you CeeDee Lamb, whose numbers are very close Very close to
Very
Justin
close.
Jefferson. Closer than you would think. Close to him. And if you're Jamar Chase, you're doing the Birdman hand rub right now because you know you're gonna smash that. Pause. But this is what I gotta say about the contract. And I'm looking at you, Ryan Poles. Being proactive is gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? And exactly, Orlando. This is why the Bears should be quick with DJ Moore's extension. Being proactive is gonna help you, so you don't have to pay the $5 later on. I think that Jettas is worth every penny. Every penny. To me, he is head and shoulders the best wide receiver in the game. I think it's going to be awesome for them. Now, he's not going to enjoy it when he's got Sam Darnold and who's the other nigga from who was their backup? Nigga they was gassing all draft. Michigan nigga. His name is escaping me right now. Nobody knows this nigga's name?
I mean, who?
The backup quarterback for the Vikings. He was drafted. He was
About JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy. That's what his name.
Oh, the way you said it, I thought it was like a random nigga.
All right, I thought it was like the backup to the backup.
Like,
because the way because of his name, he is a backup though. He's backup. He's backup to Sam Darnold.
He won't be.
So okay, how long before he's a starter?
He gonna it has to hurry up so he could be the head coach of Nazareth in 5 years.
I think he'll probably play by week 5 only because I like Sam Darnold, but it's just he always finds a way to fuck up. Like the arm strength has never been a question with Sam Darnold. Even when he checked in with the 49ers, like he throws a better ball than Brock Purdy. He's just gonna get that bitch to the other team too. Like it's
right, exactly. So, but shout out to Jedi's, man. It's always good to see young brothers get paid, and I'm looking forward to playing them niggas twice a year. So there's no type of fear when it comes to me with the Minnesota Vikings. But let's go to our next topic. This to me is where it gets fun. I wanted to get y'all opinion on this, man. I need to give a shout out to one of my Twitter homies. I don't want to mess his name up. He's a cool dude. I met him at training camp last year. Brendan Sergru. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a writer for the Bears Wire, and he wrote a very interesting article that I read over the weekend, and this is called Every NFL Team's Record After Being on Hard Knocks. And I read it, and it was very, very, it's really informative because I did know that teams did better than the reputation of teams who participate on Hard Knocks, but I didn't know it was as good as this as I thought it was. So basically, he went through all the teams that participated in Hard Knocks since 2001, which is the 2000 Ravens. By the way, HBO Max, David Zaslav, you already messing everything up. By the way that you're getting rid of inside the NBA and just getting rid of NBA coverage in general. But why do y'all only have the recent seasons of Hard Knocks on Max? All I can watch is last year's Jets season and last year's Dolphins in season. I can't watch none of the classic ones. I had to go to YouTube to watch the Ravens one. Get that and fix that, man. But anyway, there's been 19 teams participated. The Dallas Cowboys have participated 3 times. The Rams have participated twice, and I think that the Bengals have participated twice. So I didn't know that either. But here's the stats that he had. I saw some Bears fans say that they don't want the Bears on Hard Knocks because it means the team will do bad, which I think is stupid. The team's going to do bad just because the team does bad. But here's some of the stats. So out of the 19 teams that have participated in Hard Knocks, 9 of them had winning records the following season, aka the season of the training camp they did the show on, with all but 2 making the playoffs. So 7 out of those 9 teams made the playoffs. 10 of those teams had losing records, with half of those losing double-digit games. 3 had winning records after having below 500 records the year prior, and 2 had losing records after having a winning record the year before. So if you look at it, it's way more balanced, I feel, when it comes to teams who participated in Hard Knocks. Bang, what you think about them numbers? Like, do those surprise you a little bit, or it's kind of what you thought?
I hate to say it, but I don't give a shit. Like it's good for SEO value. I'll tell you that. But no, like at the end of the day, like you said, the team gonna be the team. Hey, what people expect? Like people gonna be looking at Hard Knocks and stealing plays and cadences and all of that shit. And when they play the Bears, like no, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to see quality programming. Gee, at the end of the day, just let it be quality programming. Like the Jets was hard knocks last year. Nobody predicted that Aaron Rodgers was going to tear his
There's
Achilles.
Achilles on play one.
Like nobody expect like as soon as the cameras is over with pop, like nobody expected that shit. So it's always underlying circumstances. It ain't got shit to do. Like this ain't even a Madden curse type situation, even though it's not one of that situations. So I'm just excited to see quality television and make sure y'all tune in to us when Scott produces the after show.
The after show. Speaking of the Bears, check me out tonight. I will be on the homie Greg Bragg's CSGO Bears
Oh,
late night.
oh,
Me, Braggs, Corey Wooten.
okay.
Check it out tonight. I'll be on there around
You in
7:15 Central
studio
Time.
or you via
No,
satellite?
I'm via satellite.
Oh,
I'm via
okay.
satellite. But yeah, check that out.
If you was not via satellite, if you was going, no, we had be a different
Right, right.
conversation,
I'm
Dante.
about to say we didn't told you about playing them away games. We didn't told you about
Yeah,
that.
told you about
You
that
know.
shit. Check your ass like Kennedy Carter did.
Gonna be like Shane McMahon showing up to WCW, nigga.
Oh,
Like,
nigga.
what's he doing on here? Look, go ahead, Dante. What you think about those numbers I just presented? And really, Bears, small amount of Bears fans were kind of hesitant to be in the Hard Knocks.
I've been saying this shit really since we drafted Justin. You gotta let that old shit go. If we are truly gonna move on, stop talking about all the negative shit. Stop finding the negative in every single thing associated with the Chicago Bears. Y'all sound like George McCaskey with this. We don't want the publicity. Yes, we do. Winning teams get publicity. I'm tired of getting publicity for my team being just a laughing stock. That's essentially why the Bears have gotten the publicity over the years. To still be living off 1985 and it's almost 2025 is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So I think this is the first step in us continuing that. And so just the fact that teams have been able to go on Hard Knocks and still perform well, it's just further proof that a lot of the excuses people have used for the whole distractions thing, it's kind of like when Mitch turned the TVs off in Hallis Hall. It's like, stop, bro. Like that. It just makes no sense. And turning this shit off is not going to make you any better. So I think it's one of those things where if a team got it, they got it. If it's your year, it's your year. You being on Hard Knocks won't change any of that. And so this is, again, a dope opportunity to see our young superstar quarterback. It's like, yo, let's get it.
Definitely, man. I'm tired of seeing them 20 QB graphics. I'm tired of seeing them graphics too. Hopefully, shout out to my phone just playing background. Anyway, that's on me.
No. But like you talk about the QB graphic, we damn near as bad as the Browns jersey, like with all them niggas on it. Like, man, like it's terrible. And that's why, like, even though I sometimes when I find myself catching old Bears games or just random Bears clips, I might have to shoot Jay Cutler a little bit more bail going forward because
you do have to shoot him more bail. Niggas used to treat Jay like he was the worst quarterback in Bears history. Like,
yeah, a lot of the turnovers, he was out there getting his head cracked. Like that Giants game was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Stacked like 9 times in that Giants game, bro. He had like 4 different, and I'm not trying to say that he was great, no, but he had like 6 different offensive coordinators. Like, the nigga was throwing to Johnny Knox for like 3 years till he got Brandon Marshall.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
And then when he finally got a good offense for the first time in Bears history, defense couldn't guard anybody.
Mel Tucker.
Didn't
he just get fired?
That nigga didn't got fired multiple times. Like,
freak man.
Lost about 3 jobs.
Freak man, exactly. But last topic before we wrap this episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You Out. There's been a lot of news about people trying to figure out what's next in Chicago sports with NBC Sportsnet folding. News came out today. There'll be a new sports network being launched. It is called Chicago Sports Network, aka CHSN. They're gonna launch a new home, so they'll be home to Chicago Blackhawks, Chicago Bulls, and Chicago White Sox games. This press release came out. This is Chicago Sports Network will launch in October across multiple platforms with plans to deliver the White Sox, the Blackhawks, and the Bulls games to the widest audience possible. CHSN will deliver more than 300 live Blackhawks, Bulls, and Sox games annually, along with first-class pre- and post-game coverage and 24/7 multi-sport programming. CHSN will broadcast from a highly visible production studio inside both the Chicago's United Center and Guaranteed Rate Field. The network will launch in October with Blackhawks and Bulls preseason games. First CHSN White Sox game will be broadcast in 2025. All remaining 2024 White Sox games will be continued to broadcast on NBC Sports Chicago. My personal opinion on that. I'm glad that it's not a streaming thing, and it's like another price that people gonna have to pay. This is gonna be free. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on Xfinity Comcast if you're in the area. So to me, it sounds good. I just hope that the people who lost their jobs from this are able to bounce back. Our guy, Jason Goff said he was good, so the homie good. But I hope anybody else who it wasn't fortunate, will land in a different place. But I mean, new networks happen every day. I just hope the presentation is good for those of you who do watch Bulls and White Sox games, because I do not. But Bang, do you have any comment on this new network being formed?
Hey man, if you are my age, you remember Sports Channel. That's what this is. Like, this is Sports Channel Plus, ladies and gentlemen.
Channel Plus.
So we back to Sports Channel. That's what it is. No, I love it. I think anytime, like we've seen like us, Chicago sports, who you'll be a part of today. We've seen, the bigs. We've seen all of these regional and these local news outlets that's out here. So, my goal, my hope, my prayer is that we see some new talent out there, as always, not necessarily recycling the same thing. Be able to get some new people out there and shine the light on them. At the same time, people like Jason Goff and all of those people like that can anchor it. So, if basically, if you get my gist, I see somebody like you, Scott, that could be a part of a program like that, be a part of stuff like that. Hey, you never know.
Hey, my
Throw it out
line is open, man. My email is open. My phone is open. Hit your boy up.
there. Ready to work is open on LinkedIn.
Way to work. I'll wear a suit, nigga. Pull up.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I hope that you see new stuff, and the content piece too. Like, being that Jerry Reinsdorf is pretty much heading this, I would hope to see specialized programming from all three teams, as we talked about with the NBA Network.
Don't be like NBA TV.
Right? Yeah, NBA. I hate NBA TV with a passion, because I don't think they do content right. They don't do nothing right at this point right now.
If you do worse than the MLB anything, that's not good.
It's not good.
That app is some shit.
Yeah. So for me, I would like to see some new blood out there mixed with some of the OGs, but also specialized content. Whoever is the director of content that's going to be over there, please create some dope content with the history of the Bulls, Blackhawks, the White Sox. I'm sure that you could create something that can show the rich history and legacy of all three teams, and producers.
Yeah,
Get the
producers, nigga.
Get producers who be producing.
And by creative, that means don't play flu game multiple. Don't make the flu game your baby boy. All right.
Yeah, don't get the local TV rights for Last Dance and play that every other day.
If good brother Reinsdorf has anything to do with this, it's gonna be a lot of bullshit on there. More Bulls propaganda. Like, just get ready. I wanted to say I hated it. I wanted to say I hated it just off the strength. I know he sold this to somebody. Like, he's getting some type of money. Yeah. Like,
I don't like the motive behind this.
Yeah. Anything that enriches his pockets, and I know he's not gonna put it back into the team, especially the baseball team. It's one of those things that I don't care, but it's kind of like with Phoenix and the deal they just did, where they're now broadcasting every Suns and Mercury game on regular television. And if you want, all you gotta do is come to the stadium and they'll give you an antenna. I feel like that's kind of fire. So I think with all of the streaming wars and everybody needing so much just to watch sports, I do like, from a fan perspective, simplifying things and just saying, hey, come here. You can get Bulls, Bears, Bulls, White Sox, Blackhawks, two of the shittiest owner groups in the city, but
yeah,
fans win, I guess.
I guess that's the best way to wrap up anything with anybody who plays on Madison and 35th Shields, man. So that is all we have got for y'all today, man. And we appreciate the homie Shakia for joining us on the show. Shout out to Pavi for joining us on the show. We will be back on Friday.
Hold on. What the fuck is
Yo, I'm about to bring that comment up.
Fam, that
My
shit
brother,
was
my brother in Christ.
This is not the show for that.
Why are you in love with Jeff
boy.
Hornacek?
I saw that. That's why I started laughing. Like, come on, fam.
Why are you in love with Jeff Hornacek? My brother in Christ. If you gonna go that way, at least say Cameron Brink, my G. Like what are we doing?
Stabler, fam.
Like, come on. But anyway, man. We back on Friday. We breaking down game 1 of the NBA finals. Next week, we'll have game 2 to talk about. The homie Waz be joining us next Monday. But on Friday, we'll be back breaking down game 1. And Courtney be back. We're gonna talk a little baseball. And by the way, if you want to check out baseball, the first episode of the Hot Corner, as you can see right here, Dante, Courtney, and Mikey looking like he sells insurance. That is streaming right now on all Barbershop Network feeds.
I about to say, you see the photo, Mikey got a smoking hot 1996 Toyota Corolla for you for a very good price.
Mikey look like he gonna tell you, look, I have something affordable for you and your family.
Well, that boy Mikey look like Obama on Easter.
And Mikey like, I've got a deal for you.
Boy, Al Pamonte ass suit. Oh man. On Grand Avenue ass.
Oh man.
Hey, boy, that boy about to say you a lemon on 79th for West.
Are you tired of washing dishes while dishwasher? I got a dishwasher for you. Oh man. But check out the new episode of the Hot Corner. Weekly MLB podcast, man. Mikey, Dante, and Courtney. Bro, I'm clipping this and I am sending it to the group chat. Yeah, man. Check that out. Videos on the Barbershop Net YouTube as well. Weekly podcast. They'll be dropping every week. So check that out and keep Courtney in your prayers because the Dallas Stars got eliminated last night. She will be back on Friday, man. So
y'all know real quick. Speaking of Dallas, man, rest in peace, Larry Allen.
Rest in peace, Larry Allen.
Rest in peace, Larry Allen, one of the greatest football players of all time, one of the greatest guards, if not the greatest guard of all time, one of the strongest NFL players of all time. I remember when they was doing the NFL joint, when they was doing all the stuff for the Pro Bowl, and they had that man lift 225 a whole bunch of times. It's like, yo, this dude is a beast. He passed away yesterday unexpectedly, 52 years old. Emmitt Smith, they had a video of Emmitt Smith talking about Larry Allen. Hey man, when you talk about somebody that was unbeatable, hey, that Dallas Cowboy offensive line in their heyday was one of the greats, and he was one of the anchors of that. So, hey, rest in peace, Larry Allen. Condolences to his family and the Dallas Cowboys faithful. We get on y'all all the time, but this is a big one right here, man. So rest in peace, Larry Allen.
And we didn't mention it last week. That was our fault. But rest in peace to Bill Walton, the legend. We did not mention it last week. Bill Walton, icon, man. I've been around Bill Walton. I didn't get to say hi to him, but he came into the Clippers media room. He just had the same energy and joy that he always had. Bill Walton was a treasure to listen. He's like one of the people who are always happy, man. So salute to him. Prayers up to his entire family. Much love to the Portland Trailblazers, everybody who the Boston Celtics, everybody that he ever played with, man. So much love to the icon, Bill Walton, man. So we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna get up out of here, man. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Barbershop Scott. You can follow the Barbershop Network at Barbershop Net on all social media platforms. Follow HMB Media at HMB Media TV on Twitter and at HMB Media on Instagram. Follow Dante at October Zone Tate on Twitter, like he says. Don't find him on Instagram; he will find you. Follow Jar Bang on all social media platforms. Visit the Barbers Chat patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. Get in tune with all of our exclusive content on there. Yeah, man. Visit pillarsclub.co, pillars_club, or go to any of their 3 locations in Chicagoland area, Orland Park Mall, West Loop over there on Madison, and also Chicago Ridge Mall, man. Get in tune with them, man. We will be back on Friday. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week, man. We up out of here.